Dopey.
Two guys that hate each other.
Just shut your mouth.
I hate them. Shut up.
Don't be unkind.
Shut up, bitch.
Oh, very nice.
Shut the fuck up.
You're a fine bunch of bullies, aren't you?
I'm Opie.
I could give a fuck. I'm Jim Norton, and I'm on the radio.
Shut up.
The Opie and Anthony Show. It's all about fun, fun, fun.
I'd love to spit in your face.
I will fucking kill you.
Shut up, stupid.
I'm just a zilch, and I know it.
Who cares? We're trying to do a fucking radio.
I know what we're trying to do. I'm sitting here across from you. I understand that.
The Opie and Anthony Show.
Despicable asshat.
These dummies that work for us, you guys stink.
Ben looks like a tall baby.
Always laughing in the wrong places. Ben, where's the coffee?
He rock.
Hopefully he's going through a car wash with his mouth open.
And there's Steve.
Steve is a piece of garbage.
And you stink.
You are cordially invited to a robbery rape.
This is family entertainment.
This show is a disaster.
The Opie and Anthony Show.
If you have any poo, fling it now.
But enough of this palaver. Let's get the show on the road.
I know a thing or two about a thing or two.
Liar whore, and you know it.
You're a kid toucher.
Shut your goddamn pie hole. I'm so scared. I'm so scared. Oh!
Torture! That's torture!
Here I am, lucky people. The boy fights for the B team. People can call me anything they want as long as they don't call me late for supper.
Oh. Let's do it!
What an ass. A complete tool. Hey, good morning. Welcome to the Opie and Anthony program. Good morning.
Here we are, you lucky people.
Right. Everyone listening is so lucky. That's right, you. You're a lucky person.
You want to start the show off with a bit?
Ooh.
Stop. A little bit?
Opie.
Do something a little different today?
Really got the phlegm out of our throats from lack of talking. And already we're going into a recorded piece.
Prepare to broadcast. Me. You're not preparing.
I have egg in my mouth.
This is our new thing. We prepare for broadcast every
Just
morning.
read the message board. Jim will just do that all throughout the show.
I can't stop.
It's
awful, right? It depends.
Oh, Jesus.
Depends on what I drink. Hi, Carl.
What the fuck are you doing here?
Well,
Jesus Christ, I just looked to my left and there's a famous person next
here
to me.
he is, you lucky people.
Well,
Colin Quinn,
Norton
everyone.
I wanted to come in last night.
Yeah.
I should play the message for you. I left it on my machine, but it's basically, come in at 7 o'clock and make sure you get there right at 7 because, we got a busy show tomorrow. I go, oh, who's on?
Right.
New Orleans, maybe it's Oprah, I mean, who knows? Ron and Fez are coming in, and we might get a call from Samuel Jackson and Eugene Levy.
That's right. That's
I'll
a big
make
show.
sure I'm quick and get out, Jim. You son of a bitch.
Listen, man. I just wanted you to
Shut
have
your
the
face.
proper amount of attention and fun on this program.
Do you sleep upside down?
Oh, Jesus. Why, because of my hair?
Yeah, do you sleep like a bat? What happened up there?
As Jim put it on Tough Crowd one time, shut up, 20 years too old for your haircut.
It just looks extra wild today, that's
I
all.
know.
He's just walking the streets of New York and decided to drop in.
I just turned to my left to set up a bit, and there's Colin Quinn sitting down at a mic.
Let me in on the bit. Can I play a character? I can do impressions.
We've seen.
Well,
I love that one.
It's actually just a promo that Steve made for little Jimmy Norton, your pal over there. It's called, what is it called? Drill Diva.
Oh, Drill Diva.
We have these series of bits called Diva, because we're all divas. What was mine?
You were a No, I was Bagel Diva.
No, he was Bagel Diva. Was I?
Milk Diva.
I was Milk Diva.
He had a problem with his milk one morning and just went off like a lunatic about it.
Well, my blood sugar dropped.
Oh.
And then
everybody
Steve
says that when they go off.
I know.
I know. It's
blood
so
sugar
true.
thing. Stop it. It is not.
My blood sugar's dropping. And I needed milk really bad, and then one of the guys got it from a drugstore because that's where you get milk these days.
He got it from the Dwayne Reed,
Where
where you go for milk.
Yeah, when did that start?
It's just like Dairy Barn.
Well, we can play. All right, why don't we start with Milk Diva? What the hell? We got it here. And then we'll play the new one from Norton called Drill Diva. But first, Milk Diva.
Steve, SOS, I need milk immediately.
Coming soon to the Opie and Anthony Show, Milk Diva World Tour. Featuring all your favorite Milk Diva hits. Live in concert.
My blood sugar level is dropping as I speak.
Featuring the classic There's a Deli Downstairs.
There's a deli right downstairs, is there not? Who the F gets milk from Dwayne Reed?
And who could forget the #1 smash hit, I'll Suck Milk Out of a Cow.
I'll suck milk out of a cow. I don't care. I just need milk.
Plus special guests, the Milk Divettes.
I walk into the studio and he goes, "Where's my milk? Why are you going to Dwayne Reed for the milk?"
And for the first time in over a decade, You Don't Bring Me Milk Anymore.
And then I'm noticing there is no milk around, so I'm like, I will pass out.
You sound like a madman.
I know I'm whining.
The Milk Diva. Coming soon to the Opie and Anthony Show.
Opie wants milk. He only takes it from CVS or Rite Aid.
Who would go to Dwayne Reed for milk knowing how desperate I am right now? You get condoms and maybe some shampoo from Dwayne Reed. You don't get milk from Dwayne Reed.
See, there you go, Kyle.
Oh,
It's a
yeah.
cute little thing we do from time to time.
Well, you didn't seem that upset.
Well, God, I hadn't heard that in a while. Wow, we are just whiny messes.
No, my blood sugar really dropped that day, and I
Of
needed food
course.
badly. I had cereal, and I needed the milk. We do
Not
have...
from Dwayne Reed.
What other divas do we have for Colin here? We have Potato Diva, Coffee Diva. Which one you want to hear?
I think Milk Diva is particularly effective in light of the Hurricane Katrina.
Why?
Hurricane. Oh, wow, that hurt. Wow.
Well, because, people are suffering and can't have water, and you were complaining about the milk from Dwayne Reed.
Complaining that your milk wasn't bought from the right place and you aren't getting it in time. Meanwhile, there's the suffering going on.
Well, I understand that, but that's something that's like 3 or 4 months old now. I didn't know that it was going to be a devastating hurricane when I went off that day, 4 months later. You want to hear Bagel Diva?
That one was mine.
You want to hear Bagel Diva there, Colin?
Sure I do.
All right.
I was very upset.
In a starchy world, mired in imperfection.
What the hell is that?
It's a bagel, but for some reason at this place, they put it like on the grill.
One man
It's all about me.
will challenge the status quo.
They don't have a toaster? That annoys me.
Navigating treacherous terrain.
There's crap all over it. Like I'm seeing grease,
Confronting the unknown.
and there's something green on it, which could be a pepper or a booger. It's awful.
With a platoon of interns.
You sheep?
And military precision.
Go, go, go! Fix it!
The world will witness a revolution.
Bagel Diva.
Coming soon
Come on.
to a bakery near you.
Are you kidding?
See, that's not that bad, right?
I just wanted a bagel that was in a toaster without gook on it. Is that asking too much? Am I a diva for that?
Colin?
Fine.
What do you think?
What he'll do is he'll take clips of something like a subject like that and actually piece together. We don't actually rehearse that stuff.
I see. That sounds like Big Ben up to some hot producing.
The montage.
What about Jimmy's Diva thing? I'm sure that's 20 of those.
We have, my favorite one is actually Coffee Diva.
What is this?
Well, all right, what's the problem?
Oh, boy.
What's the problem? What's the problem?
The Emperor is not happy with his coffee.
Oh, no. Are we going to have to break into,
Jim Norton. Coffee Diva.
Look at that cup. What brand is on that cup?
I don't know,
It doesn't taste good. I don't like it.
where do we get our coffee every day?
I like Starbucks.
I like Starbucks.
And I don't like supporting the savages that run most of these delis.
You're insane.
Yup.
You betcha. You might be right.
Yeah.
What is this?
You want to taste this?
Wow, that's really nice.
Throw it against the wall.
I'm not
you
gonna do
diva.
that.
I'm a diva.
I want Starbucks coffee.
You betcha.
Jim Norton. Coffee Diva.
I know Starbucks is a big world order type of thing.
At least they're not funding terrorism.
Yeah, he doesn't like the coffee from the savages at the deli.
Yes.
And,
I actually do a quick check, and if you have foreskin, you can't make my coffee.
Oh.
Wow. Unclipped boys only.
What about Coffee Apple Diva?
I mean clipped. I mean clipped.
Wow, is that against protocol?
I'm just throwing out ideas.
You have no idea what that's going to do to
Jimmy.
Jimmy.
I'm just brainstorming.
He just drops Jimmy's apple into his coffee.
That actually isn't that bad.
No.
Apple coffee, Diva.
Still drink that.
So we have a brand new one.
Jimmy?
Featuring Jimmy again, yes.
Oh, you could have 20 if you go to the Comedy Cellar every night. He comes out off stage. I swear you would think Lenny Bruce was about to be arrested. This crunch, political correct. I hate these people. Idiots. Why? Because they didn't laugh for 12 minutes on your elongated 50-cent story?
Listen, hey, that's a very fun story.
50... Now, because his foot is hurt, he's got a stool for a 12-minute set at the Cellar.
Oh, you
are stool
He thinks he's Bill Cosby. He sits up there and he's like, I collect autographs, something you show. He does like a 5-minute intro. It's really annoying.
Here's what I do.
And he thinks he connects with the crowd like he's smiling like... And he just looks at them with that horrible face. It's like, come on. You're not charming.
I am charming.
You're really not. People are...
Give a little smile. The crowd loves me.
You drain the mercy out of them for your sake, and I have to go on and suffer.
And you're sitting down now, Jimmy?
I have to.
Jimmy's the sit-down comic guy.
I injured my foot, and I told the Cellar that I need a stool.
A stool.
It's like a tour de force.
One was provided.
One-man show.
Yeah.
He's sitting there.
And he still does the same phony one-man show thing. In comedy, whoever's the headliner on a road gig, you go, how about a hand for the MC and the other act?
Sure.
Well, this conceited ass, in the middle of the show, if there's 5 comics, if he's third on, he'll go, how about a hand for the MC and your other acts? But he doesn't say it like ironically. He says it like sincerely. So
like he's the headliner.
And like there's nobody on after him. Not only is it inconsiderate, I've told him 20 times stop doing it. He won't stop.
I won't stop. I like doing it. It's a courtesy.
It's not a courtesy.
I'm a good guy, and I feel that...
it's the height of pomposity.
It's not. Usually it's a colored boy who's hosting the show, and I like to say, how about a hand for that fella?
Well,
working
nothing
hard.
wrong with that. Keith is, he does a heck of a job.
I like the fact that you're sitting down now. That's very comfortable.
That
Keith wears
is.
white gloves on stage when he MCs, Keith does.
A white glove. Like an old-timey butler.
All right, well, we have the brand new Diva promo from Martini Steve.
Ooh,
a little setup here.
For that.
It's Jimmy's birthday.
Oh, today?
Yes.
Oh, Jim, you didn't tell me. I would have loved a little something.
And listeners have been bringing, sending in, I guess, gifts.
Yeah.
And they sent Jimmy a drill.
Oh. Guy sent me just a...
Because I guess you were talking about a drill on the show or something.
One time I had gotten drill bits for my birthday.
Yeah.
Nothing else, just drill bits. I'm like, what is this? So somebody sent me a drill.
But it was
perfect.
It was a big, bulky cord drill.
It was not
are these cookies a gift?
That's
from
a gift
Steve's
from
wife.
Mrs. Steve.
So they're not urine-laced?
Not to me, actually.
No, you can have one of those if you like.
They're
I'm
good.
afraid nobody's had one.
So Norton didn't like this particular drill that was mailed to him because it's one of those plug-ins, like Anthony said, and he just kind of went off that day. And Steve took the audio and turned it into Drill Diva. Do I got it here?
In a fancy world.
Sorry for all the background noise. I just been opening a box. I got another gift.
Where status is everything.
Thanks, Andy from Seattle. He sent me a used drill.
One man.
I'm an entertainer.
A fancy man.
Do you understand? There's a fancy entertainer talking.
Will begin a quest for the ultimate gift.
Fuck you.
The Drill Diva.
Anybody have anything lighter, like maybe a fucking bowling ball with 2 lead shoes?
When a regular gift is out of reach.
How about just some pictures of vaginas and some pornography?
Right.
And the gift he gets is unacceptable.
For your needs, you should have a cordless drill in your house.
Well, come on, what do you want?
I want a new drill.
Dude, you don't appreciate shit.
I want a cordless fancy drill, boy.
The Drill Diva took my breath away, says Eric Nagel.
Think about how I feel, hoping I have a new cordless gift and seeing that cumbersome cord.
And Ben from Boston raves, wahahaha, dude.
You want me plugging a cord in like you have to?
You've never seen a spoiled brat hissy fit like this.
You don't deserve to sit there.
Shut your dumb Italian mouth. I'm talking, boy.
The Drill Diva, coming soon.
Jimmy, you're a cock.
Fuck you and fuck your mother. What do you think of them apples?
Jeez, that's a little harsh, Jimmy.
I think that, listeners, I appreciate your thoughts, but your thoughts are good kept as thoughts. If you're going to send me, there's a new thing now. It's a $50 gift minimum.
Right.
If you're going to send me a gift, it's got to be a gift. It's not a garage sale. I don't want your shit.
Not horrible. I got this out of my dad's old toolbox. item.
That's
yeah.
right, and the receipt has to come with it in case I don't like your gift.
You take it back.
I bring it back and I get the money.
Shipping it probably costs more than the gift.
That's a good point, Carl. It's a good point.
But you're right, Italians shouldn't talk.
So there you go. The Diva promos continue.
Yeah.
That's the latest one from
I like
Martini
it.
Steve. You like it, Colin?
I'm going to start recording Jim. Too bad he's going out of town for a couple of weeks.
Well, we don't know when he's leaving.
Very busy, man.
He was
Jimmy
supposed
Norton.
to leave by now, and now are you leaving next Wednesday?
I'm leaving Wednesday. And
Wednesday?
Are you doing Wednesday show?
I think so.
He doesn't know he has no power on this show. Don't you understand that?
Oh.
They call him and say, "Bitch, get back in your seat. You're not." Oh, but I changed my ticket. I Continental. Too bad.
No, you don't understand. When the ticket just changes, you know how it is in first
Would you make
class.
Louis C.K. come in and go on at 7 o'clock?
Louis C.K. can come and go as he pleases. That's the way it goes around here.
By the way, can I pump my big Stress Factory weekend?
Of course you can, Colin.
Apparently, ticket sales are bleak. I'm on Friday and Saturday at New Brunswick with Vinny Brandt.
And his prank call.
Yeah. Maybe that's it, Vinny. Hey, Vinny, maybe it's a prank call. Calling up people telling their kids were murdered in a drunk driving accident might keep some of the older crowd away.
You really got to explain that to the rest of the country.
Vinny goes on.
He's a very
yeah.
funny guy, but at the end of his set, he likes to do his prank call.
And the prank call is funny, but he's been doing it for so long now. He's like jaded. He's shock-proof. So he'll call people up, hey, your daughter's been arrested. And people are like, and the guy's having a heart attack. It's like, your son was killed in a 3-car accident.
God.
He does this in front of the comedy
live
audience
audience.
there. The live audience.
Your mother's in New Orleans. You know, he doesn't care anymore.
That's so true. He's really taking it to the next level.
He has taken it to the next level.
What do you think about the whole New Orleans thing? How the government reacted to it, Colin?
I just thought it was a shame. Like they said, if they were white, they would have rescued them faster. But if they were white, they wouldn't have shot at the medevac helicopters. So, I mean, it's kind of a touch-and-go situation either way.
Yeah, that did seem a little odd.
Yo.
People are shooting at the people that are there to help.
Exactly.
It was just a few bad apples.
A few bad apples.
Bad apples? Is that what we're...
Just a few bad
Yeah,
apples.
well, you know how people are when they're scared. People get scared and they do silly things.
Yeah. Yo, Tremaine, light him up. SOS, motherfucker.
You took advantage of the situation at hand.
Right.
Yeah.
It wasn't looting. It was getting supplies.
Oh, boy.
Food. They needed food, maybe some clothing. And apparently they found the Tech 9. Apparently they found in one of the shelters. They found a huge bag full of jewelry with the price tags on it, and no one seems to be claiming it. That was in the news yesterday.
That's my ice. Nobody gonna touch it.
Well, you need that. You know, there's a whole. Once the government breaks down, there's a whole different monetary system, which includes, I think, sneakers and shirts, TVs, and jewelry.
I know. I was telling
like
Keith,
cigarettes in the joint.
I told Keith, I said, I thought black people couldn't swim. You guys are like Olympic champions with those 3 DVD players on your back.
Wow.
Wowie.
Yeah.
Oh, boy, I've never seen people in the project could jumpstart $1 million speedboat like that. Grew up in Newport.
Everything in this country now, it doesn't matter what it is, has to be divided down racial lines.
That's correct.
It doesn't matter that the hurricane hit in an impoverished area, and that's why many of the people were black. A lot of people would have you believe that it was some wacky weather machine, government weather machine, that was attacking black people.
CIA.
Right. Mofo.
I tried to offer, I actually gave money, and I also I offered my home, and they sent it back. I
Really?
offered, like somebody to live in my home because I put it on the bottom. They said you can't put must be hot on the bottom. So if they don't want to compromise.
Why can't you pick and choose who you want living in your house?
There's a lot of hotties. Mississippi, a lot of those little girls running around, help them out.
As long as they're young, because the second they hit 20, they gain 500 pounds.
Yeah, but I put them on my dental, and that's the most important thing down there.
Did you guys hear or watch Keith Olbermann last night and his rant?
Who is he?
He's on MSNBC, right?
He's that dummy that used to run SportsCenter?
Yeah, he used to do, exactly. He was on ESPN. And now,
I know the name, but I don't know him.
And now he does serious talk.
He's supposed to be a Stitch, but I've never seen him.
Actually, his show is pretty entertaining.
Yeah?
So what did he say last night?
Well, last night he just absolutely went off and just started ranting. And
angry about...
pretty much blaming Bush.
Oh, yeah, Bush was really responsible for the whole thing.
Where was the help, Carl?
Ugh.
Where was the help 4 days later? 5 days we need to get troops in there and with food and water for our brethren?
Yes, that's true. But, I mean, let's face it, it is kind of hard to be enthusiastic about going in when people are taking pot shots at the medevacs.
Well, they weren't taking pot shots until the medevac got there.
Oh.
See, what maybe if they had arrived sooner, the people wouldn't be so rambunctious.
That's a good point. But I'd like to blame everybody except Bush. But he certainly, the guy was on vacation. He left a few days early.
All right, now you're making sense.
And I heard Condoleezza Rice was so distraught she didn't enjoy the second half of Spamalot.
Yeah, that was not a good photo op for her that day.
There's a photo of her coming out of Spamalot.
As New Orleans is falling down and
people are dying.
And then she's shoe shopping.
Right.
Life goes on.
You gotta
Even
move ahead.
Conway said he was shopping first.
Well, why don't we listen to some of this Keith Olbermann audio here.
Also on this point, this is not typically a newscast of commentary. I can recall only twice previously offering such perspectives, but something that Homeland Security Secretary Chertoff said at his news conference Saturday made this necessary.
Louisiana is a city that is largely underwater.
It's a country.
Well, there's your problem right there. If ever a slip of the tongue defined a government's response to a crisis, forget the history of slashed federal budgets for projects that might have saved the levees. Drop the imagery of the government watching Monty Python's Flying Circus while New Orleans drowned. Ignore the symbol of bureaucrats like Mr. Chertoff using only the future tense in terms of relief that they could have supplied last Monday and Tuesday. We no longer need the president sounding like he's on some sort of 5-day tape delay to summarize this debacle. We now have Mr. Chertoff's indelible announcement that Louisiana is a city. Politician after politician, Republican and Democrat alike, has paraded before us, unwilling or unable to shut off the I-me switch in their heads, condescendingly telling us about how moved they were or how devastated they were, congenitally incapable of telling the difference between the destruction of a city and the opening of a new supermarket somewhere. And as that sorry recital of self-absorption dragged on, I have resisted editorial comment. The focus needed to be on the efforts to save the stranded. Even television's meager powers were correctly devoted to telling the stories of the twin disasters, natural and government-made. But now, at last, it has stopped getting exponentially worse in Mississippi and Alabama and New Orleans and Louisiana, the state, not the city. And having given our leaders what we now know is the week or so they need to get their acts together, that period of editorial silence I mentioned should come to an end. No one is suggesting that mayors or governors in the afflicted areas nor the federal government should be able to stop hurricanes. Lord knows no one is suggesting that we should ever prioritize levee improvement for a below sea level city ahead of $454 million worth of trophy bridges for the politicians of Alaska. But nationally, these are leaders who won re-election last year largely by portraying their opponents as incapable of keeping this country safe.
Oh, my God.
These are leaders who regularly pressure the news media in this country to report the reopening of a school or a power station in Iraq, and which regularly defies its citizens not to stand up and cheer when something like that is accomplished. Yet they couldn't even keep one school or power station from being devastated by infrastructure collapse in New Orleans, even though the government had heard all the chatter from the scientists and city planners and hurricane centers, and some group whose purposes the government couldn't quite discern, a group called the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. Most chillingly of all, this is the law and order and terror government. It promised protection, or at least amelioration, against all threats, conventional, radiological, or biological. It has just proved that it cannot save its citizens from a biological weapon called standing water. Mr. Bush has now twice insisted that, quote, we are not satisfied, unquote, with the response to the manifold tragedies along the Gulf Coast. I wonder which we he thinks he's speaking for on this point. Perhaps it's the administration, although we still don't know where some of them are.
God.
Anybody seen the vice president lately? The man whose message this time last year was, I'll protect you, the other guy might let you die? I don't know which we Mr. Bush meant. For many of this country's citizens, the mantra has been, as we were taught in social studies, it should always be, whether or not I voted for this president, he is still...
A minute? I can't take it anymore. This is the most uninteresting drivel I've ever heard being played. This isn't even shit you can comment on.
I wish you got raped at the Superdome.
Holy shit! Shut the fuck up!
He accuses politicians of being self-involved.
And here he is with this
babbling rant.
Not only that, but he's saying, oh, politicians, they watch their words so they don't get... Yeah, because people like you say Louisiana's a state, like that embodies the...
right.
You know.
Oh, my God, he just went on and on. I could not take it anymore.
There's a self-righteousness in the country. It's unbelievable, man. Everybody gets on there on their fucking soapbox.
Yeah.
It's really nauseating to me.
Well, that's what our job is, too, Colin.
No, it's not.
Hop up on the soapbox.
No, you're supposed to
just
bust
babble.
balls.
Bust balls. Who's this guy now? Wants to come? The guy obviously wasn't listening.
Let's say
not even a name. Hey, Florida, what's up?
Hey, what's up, Owen?
Hey, man.
What's up, bro?
Recent convert from Howard, so I hate that fucking douche now anyway, but...
I invented everything.
I invented everything, but first thing for Jimmy, Starbucks fucking sucks. During 9/11, they charged people $3 for a bottle of water.
No, they didn't.
Cruise. Yes, they did.
No, they didn't.
And they won't send
Water's good.
coffee to the troops in Iraq because they don't support this war or anyone involved in it. They fucking suck.
Dude, I know what you're saying. I've heard some of those rumors, and they did donate a lot of money. And regardless of their policies, which are probably repulsive, I won't even disagree with the fact that they're probably repulsive left-wing policies from Seattle. Their coffee is fantastical.
There you go.
And that's what I care about.
Dunkin' Donuts rules, buddy.
I don't mind Dunkin' Donuts. I really don't, but I get too much gas from the half and half they put in there. I prefer Starbucks.
Fella, I like the cut of your jib. Why don't you drive up to New Brunswick this weekend?
Colin Quinn at Stress Factory.
I'm in Florida with work, so I'm out of New York.
Take a drive. What's a big deal? 24 hours.
All right, go ahead. What do you have? You have a problem with Ann and his Bush bashing? That
liberal.
Not Bush bashing, but it's all coming out in the news right now that the governor of Louisiana, she never signed the evacuation order for the projects, even though she was urged like days before. It took her 4 days to officially sign an evacuation order from the inner cities in Louisiana, and she also never signed the evacuation orders for any of the old folks' homes down there.
I'm not bashing Bush. I'm not bashing Bush. I'm not bashing anybody. The fact of the matter is, people put too much confidence and faith in the government and the way it is, and think that they're supposed to swoop in before a disaster or avoid a disaster or avoid death and destruction. That's just not the case. The truth of the matter is, you got to take care of yourself in the times of disaster, and the government is there to clean up the mess afterwards. That's their job. It's very hard to predict what's going to happen, how bad something's going to be, and when something happens, it's your job to be smart enough to get the fuck out of the way of it, or resilient enough to live through it and move on with the government's help afterwards. It's very hard to point a finger and say people should have, could have, would have. That's my stand. I still think Bush is an asshole.
Black people are great swimmers with DVDs strapped to their bags.
Very funny Colin Quinn, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, he'll be at the Stress Factory all weekend long. Colin
why don't you drive up, kid?
All right, bro. Thank you.
Likes the cut of your jib.
Let's see if Keith Olbermann makes a point here.
Yeah. All right.
Whether or not I voted for this president, he is still my president. I suspect anybody who had to give him that benefit of the doubt stopped doing so last week. I suspect also a lot of his supporters looking ahead to 2008 are wondering how they can distance themselves from the two words which will define his government, our government, New Orleans. For him, it is a shame in all senses of the word. A few changes of pronouns in there, and he might not have looked so much like a 21st century Marie Antoinette. All that was needed was just a quick, I'm not satisfied with my government's response. Instead of hiding behind phrases like, no one could have foreseen, had he only remembered Churchill's quote from the 1930s. The responsibility of government for the public safety, Churchill said, is absolute and requires no mandate. It is, in fact, the prime object for which governments come into existence. In forgetting that, the current administration did not merely damage itself. It damaged our confidence in our ability to rely on whoever is in the White House. As we emphasized to you here all last week, the realities of the region are such that New Orleans is going to be largely uninhabitable for a lot longer than anybody is yet willing to recognize. Lord knows when the last body will be found or the last artifact of the levee break dug up. Could be next March, could be the year 2100. By then, in the muck and toxic mire of New Orleans, they may even find our government's credibility somewhere in the city of Louisiana.
Woo! Oh, that's really amazing.
How many times did he have that dramatic end and then just kept going? Like you thought it was over. And then he just kept going.
What was he trying to say there?
He's trying to say that, first of all, the government's really been oppressing the news, trying to get them to do all those stories about building schools and hospitals. Well, I haven't seen one in 5 years, so I guess they're not that scary and totalitarian stupid.
I haven't seen one.
Because every time I just got back from Iraq and Afghanistan again, and I'm not saying that for praise, but I just got back, and then That's what their biggest complaint is, that they never see any positive stories. They're not saying hide the negative stuff, but there's no positive stories out of there. So what's he talking about?
No. Did you see anything positive when you were there?
I saw plenty of positivity.
Yeah?
Sure.
What's going on?
Well, it's interesting you say that. Well, I don't know. I mean, it's just,
Were you prepared for that question, Colin?
No, I wasn't.
I don't know. It's just like, what happened?
Yeah, tell us something.
I've seen a lot of positivity. I saw people giving the old thumbs up.
Oh, the thumbs up.
Hearty winks.
I like a hearty wink.
They were rebuilding roads. Then when somebody gets shot, like 2 soldiers got killed in Afghanistan when I was there building a road, and then the paper's like, oh, they were killed in a firefight. Come on. Say they were building a road, that's why they got killed. You know what I mean? That's one of the big complaints.
Does it really matter to the family?
Well, it matters to the family, yeah.
Yeah,
they don't want it to look like it's a crossfire attack where they're shooting at each other. If you're doing something good and you get blindsided, I would think it matters.
Oh, okay. I see your point now.
You know what I'm saying?
You're just trying to build a road, help the people out there, and they're shooting.
Yeah.
Like New Orleans.
Who'd you go over there with, Mr. Big Shot?
Plenty of people.
Whose planes you fly on?
The Joint Chiefs of Staffs.
Wow.
Chairman.
You really
did?
Hey.
Well, I did. Well, it was, usually I go on tour with this dummy. We end up on these crummy planes, sleeping in tents. This time I went there because Wayne Brady canceled. He had something come up, so they called me at the last minute.
Yeah?
That's the position I'm in.
They flew you in a nice plane this time?
I bet Wayne Brady could sell out the damn New Brunswick.
Oh, no, he couldn't.
Oh, you'd be surprised. My sister would see him. She thinks he's just the cat's me out.
Dreamy.
Richard Meyer's plane he got to go over on, which I think was cool. Was it nice?
Yes.
Did you stay in hotels?
A couple of times.
Ooh. Let's say hi to Eric in Colorado. Eric.
Hey, morning, boys.
Hey, man.
Hey, Anthony, I just want to make a comment here, and actually this goes to everybody. Everybody's been coming down hard because it took the feds 4 days to get in there, but there's a little federal law called the Posse Comitatus Act.
Hakuna Matata. Yeah.
Which prevents the federal government from stepping in unless they are specifically requested by the governor of a state.
Mm-hmm.
The law was enacted following the Civil War, and it's actually...
When did the governor ask for help, sir?
She never requested federal...
Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Where did you get that information? She absolutely did.
Oh...
She was asking for help before the hurricane even hit.
But it does not require that. She has to declare a state of emergency.
Oh, is that it? It was a friggin' a little problem with words? Yeah. She didn't say, may I?
It's because of the way the law is written.
That is crap, sir.
No, that is not.
That is bullshit. So what you're saying is if this country's invaded, if Al-Qaeda comes up through Mexico and invades Texas and kills the governor, that the federal government can't move troops into fucking Texas. Hey, shithead, I'm talking. Can't move troops into Texas because the governor didn't ask for it, right?
That is a different situation.
It is not.
That is an invasion by a terrorist
subsidiary.
What if it's within? What if it's a militia group from the United States that then takes over a state?
If it occurs from within our borders, or is a natural disaster under the Posse Comitatus Act.
It's Comitas.
Governor of the state.
Hakuna Matata.
If you mention that Lion King law one more time, sir, I'm going to smash your teeth with the phone.
It's Posse Comitas.
Law. No, it's not Posse Comitas.
All right.
They changed it.
No, it ain't.
Let's go to Coke Logic from Whackbag. Coke Logic.
Hey, what's going on? This is Coke Logic from Swollen Clit, Illinois.
All right.
Ooh.
Hey, Anthony, you kind of touched on exactly what I was calling about. If the president knew that, or thought the flooding was the result of like any sort of Al-Qaeda activity, his ass would have been down here day one.
Yeah, you know what? It's just the government. It's the way it works. It's a very slow machine, sir. And even in a time of disaster, to think that they're going to swoop in with all their modern machinery and pull everyone out and have a happily ever after ending is bullshit. It's like anywhere else. The government is just people working at their jobs, just like the people that you're surrounded with on a daily basis in the office. Does shit get done immediately at your office? It doesn't at theirs either.
They're playing snooze. They're downloading porn.
Exactly. And then when there's an emergency, you start going, holy shit, who do you turn to? There's not some guy in your office that comes forward and goes, I'm the go-to guy, and I see a problem, and I go... You got to go through meetings and talk to this one. What do you think we should do? It takes time.
You're saying even in the federal government, when you try to go to the go-to guy, you go, look, these are the problems, and what should we do? You hear,
no, we're working on it, guys. We got a meeting after this.
Mark Bruno. He's outside yelling at somebody for having that Starbucks coffee. Not having would have been funnier.
No, it's all right, having not. Why not?
Why don't we take our first break? Here's the deal. Colin Quinn's in studio. He's playing the Stress Factory all this weekend.
Woohoo!
We're going to take a quick break. When we get back, we got to get Ron and Fez. They're doing the show with us today because they're starting up on this channel Monday.
Bye, guys. It's been a pleasure.
You can hang.
Yeah, whoa.
Nonsense.
Easy.
If they're coming in, I got to leave. I'm not going to be crowding you guys in.
Easy.
I'm a gentleman.
You can do whatever you want.
Easy.
I don't want to crowd people. I'm just here to plug my gig and say hello to the crew.
732-545-HA-HA. What's that? That's the Stress Factory number.
Oh, Jim, thanks. How'd you know that?
I've plugged it enough times, although I very rarely need to because it sells out immediately. 732-545-HA-HA.
The sad thing is he's not lying.
You can see Carl tomorrow and Saturday night. Who are you performing with?
Ali Breen and Vinnie Brandt.
Oh, that's a heck of a lineup. It's going to be a good show.
Should be a heck of a show.
All right, so Colin might be around because he always says he's leaving and then he stays anyway.
Then he just takes tea and dumps it on his little coffee cakes. It's creepy.
This I can guarantee. Ron and Fez will join the party next. We got Brian Regan coming in today at 9. We have Scott Farrell calling in to say hi, an old friend, at 8 a.m. We have Eugene Levy calling in today. Samuel L. Jackson calling in today. And much
Brian
more.
Regan's a heroin dealer.
Hey, that's a good hour. Hit it.
Let's see how this comes out. All right.
They're right there. All right, here we go. I got a break.
This is nice.
This is a story about a man, and he always was so lonely at night. But his voice was rowdy. You could hear it all through the train station. And I'm going to sing this one. This is about Tippy Toe Tommy.
Let's go while we're young.
It's late at night, and I have nowhere to go. My money's gone and also all my friends. The cop says to me, hey, you smell bad, get out of here. And he says, and you know I have an angel. And he said, that angel, shelter me from the falling rain.
You have homes.
This is my life. I'm living with so much pain. Shelter me from the falling rain.
You have homes.
This is my life. I'm living with so much pain. That's just a little piece.
The Opie and Anthony Show. XM202. Opie and Anthony. XM202.
Yeah, where is Earl?
Snoozing.
All right, here's the deal. You're listening to the Opie and Anthony Show. I thought I could eat a little more before we got back from break, but I guess not.
You can't eat a whole bagel with an egg on it in 30
seconds?
No?
I wanted to play just the Ron and Fez theme music here, but they did the thing with the Rage, which is fine. Ron and Fez in studio. They're going to start on this channel Monday.
Ooh, Monday.
Yeah.
Right after us.
Hey,
hold on. There you go,
Fezzy's
Fezzy.
mic.
Sorry about that.
At 11 a.m. Now I got it in.
Right after us.
Have you been enjoying your time off?
I think 11 a.m. on the East Coast.
Ah, right.
Yeah,
and
it's
some
a
other
national.
times on different
It's
coasts.
a national show now.
Remember, we never say what time we start.
Exactly.
It's just a little after the hour.
You go
No matter
about
what
the
anybody
hour.
says. Just
Quarter
little
past
after
the hour.
Is that why they do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Oh
how they.
my God.
That's how they trick you all over the country.
Are
They go,
you insane,
I never
Jimmy?
paid attention.
They go.
You really are serious.
Right
too
now,
busy.
right now it's 45 minutes after the hour.
Yeah.
I never made that connection.
Oh,
You
yeah.
just assumed someone had come in and stolen the little hand.
No, I just figured that was the way someone said something. I never made a connection.
Don't you do that in stand-up when you're out on the West Coast? It's great to be here a little after the hour. It's
Here on my stool.
Yeah, my sore foot.
And we are broadcasting at 7:45 a.m. and for the rest of the country, go fuck yourself.
That's right. Oh,
This is the real time
Oh, jeez.
for the real stars. If you have to listen to this in the middle of the night, oh well. Sucks to be you.
Tough shit.
Tough shit is right.
East Side. We're really just showing
Yeah.
a little bit of East Side pride here.
Yeah, Ron and Fez look very, very tired this morning.
It is amazing. It's really
They
already
staggered in at 7.
our
For a long time.
and our producer had to be woken up by Ben. He's still sleeping in Queens.
Earl.
Yeah.
How
Or-
did you guys get Earl as your producer?
Opie. It's 100%.
Is it Opie?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all Opie's fault. That's him pissing on a golden ticket.
Wow.
It's golden shower.
Ronnie
for the golden ticket.
Ronnie actually called me and he said, "You think Earl could do the job?" And I said yes. And
You
now,
vouched for him?
Did you
Now
hear
I
any
look like-
snickering after he said yes?
and now I look like the biggest ass because he's already falling apart. I'm hearing.
Before they even hit the air, Earl is completely
We're talking about
self-destructing.
Black Earl, who used to work with all of us back at WNEW when we were doing commercial radio, and I don't know. They never fired him at NEW,
Right.
so I figured he had some pull.
Well, it's the yeah. You got to have one. You have to have one.
And that was theirs. Earl.
Now he's ours.
Now he's yours.
So he
You
went
guys
from
have brought him
Highlander.
aboard.
It's Highlander. There can only be one in every radio station. Normally, it's the receptionist.
Usually it's
Right.
Peace ho, peace ho. Everywhere you call.
Peace ho. Oh, absolutely.
Somebody on the phone said something about T-shirts. All right, I'll take it. Thank you.
I don't know what he's talking about. I gotta leave. I gotta go have my hair did.
That EOE thing rocks.
Yeah.
It's not just
Nice.
in radio.
Peace ho.
Peace ho. So Earl is doing pretty much.
He went from board hopping to producing
Yeah.
one of the biggest radio shows in America.
Yeah.
There should have been some steps in between.
Maybe baby steps.
Maybe he should
Yeah.
have, I don't know, mailed out the stickers for a while.
The thing is, I know he can do it. He's worked around radio for a while, but he's terrified. He's absolutely terrified right now.
He doesn't want to push the button on the elevator. Never mind the
No.
board.
Hey, he's never been one for really taking charge, taking the lead. He likes hovering just below the radar.
And bitching about management.
Right.
You know.
Right.
He doesn't want to be the go-to guy.
Yeah.
Because the go-to guy has to work.
Makes us feel better about our producers, I'll tell you that much.
Well.
You know, but I guess Earl fell apart yesterday.
Well-
You had a slight problem because I guess they're starting the pre-promotion that we had
Right.
to do.
Yeah. So we're supposed to be talking to, I don't know, I think we're talking to the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s tomorrow.
We're running through the decades.
Yeah,
We're on a time machine.
Then you're going to go into deep tracks.
Yeah.
Get deep into your personal lives. I don't know what deep tracks will do for you.
And
but
then the Sonny Fox in-depth comedy look, which we're excited about.
Right.
And that's what we were supposed to do yesterday. And then there, some kind of problem came up on whatever line we were supposed to be on. And Earl just went into the fetal position, just in a...
Yeah, he'll do that.
He's not even lying for the show or
parrot.
anything.
He couldn't arrange the interview
Right.
that you
And
guys have with our own company.
Right.
Right.
And-
Not like an outside source here.
And then I said, well, have you talked to Wiki? Have you talked to Sonny Fox? You know, just to let... You know, I don't want Sonny sitting in the studio somewhere.
Yeah, waiting
and we
for
haven't
you guys.
showed up. And he's just... You know, I might as well said to him, I need you to figure out the string theory. He just lost it.
At one point, he pulled out his cell phone and just started scrolling through numbers. Like there's one that's just, help me. Help me. That I could dial. Someone will do this for me. Send.
Then Earl, actually, I saw him take a picture of Ozzy in a wood frame and
Oh,
just tried to put it up on the wall.
Trying to hang it straight. That's a good start for him. Hang a picture straight.
Well, we got a lot of young go-getters that we
Yeah.
could give you if Earl self-destructs, that's for sure.
So it's Earl, Douglas, and a producer to be named later. That's all part
Yeah,
of
that's
the
the
deal.
trade, part of the deal.
By the way, have fun with the honeymoon phase from XM because then it all just goes away and they ignore you.
I remember the interviews that we used to do. We used to go on all the different channels, and they'd pump us up and everything. And then it just, guys, it goes away.
It just goes away. They were motivated to have us go down to Washington once a month. I think we haven't been there in 6 months.
It's like, I want you guys down there once a month to do the show, so you're just in the environment. You give you a feel for the company. We have guests coming in all the time to do the live room over there, and they'll come onto your show. Yeah, it lasted maybe 2 times.
Yeah.
What is weirder than that gigantic food court of radio stations, one after another, that you meet everybody?
Let me explain. It's a compound down at down in Washington.
They don't want anyone leaving.
There's
That's
like
why.
150 channels broadcasting from one facility. And you have lunch, and it's like going back to high school. You know, you got the pool table, you got the nerds, you got the geeks over here.
Yeah, the rock station guys will hang out and throw their food at like the easy listening station.
Right. That's Charlie Logan and his gang. They're just pushing people around.
They're a bunch of animals.
His gang, they come in with their leather jackets on.
They all reek of marijuana.
Then you got a table of Folk Village just eating their veggie burgers,
sharing with each other.
Right.
Just getting a yogurt and granola.
And like they were walking us through it, and like you would meet each station. They would open up, hey, this is Ron and Fez. They're going to start here. So like the jazz guys would be like, hey man, great to see you. And then the next guys with the country, hey boys, glad to have you here. Always used to listen to you. And I'm like, this is the weirdest place It's almost like radio heaven. Like everyone died, and they get their own little studio, and they get to do whatever they want.
And you're all hanging with everyone.
It's Arkham Asylum. There's a different Batman villain behind every door.
It really is weird.
Cowboy man.
Yeah, you get the Spanish guy.
You walk down the hall, and the 50s channel's right next to, the heavy metal rock station, which is next to the country station.
Hey, slip me some skin.
Yeah, right.
It's a Simpsons episode. Everybody's just a cliche.
As a goof, they put the black radio stations right next to the country radio stations just because it could be fun.
Damn, that is a weird place down there, man.
But the cafeterias,
it is.
You're right. They're all just sitting at different tables. It's like high school all over again.
They don't want people leaving the compound though, because the area down there,
it's
not
a little scary.
Yeah,
a little scary.
Well, what are you going to do?
Did we tell you there was one time when we were still going down to Washington, and they picked us up from the hotel, and they were driving us through the projects because it's a shortcut to the compound.
Right.
That's really smart at 5 in the morning.
Yeah, no shortcuts.
There was an actual shootout going on. And this particular person said, "Cool shootout," and stopped the van so we could all watch.
Let's look like it was we were on the Universal Studios tour, and it was just actors.
Confrontation.
That's it.
Wild West show.
Actually, I gotta correct myself. I yelled "shootout," assuming that means that this person would drive faster.
Right.
Instead, they decided that means stop and take a look.
That building might look like a complete building, but as we drive around the back, you'll see it's just what they call a facade in the movie business. A facade means false front.
And there's just a kid who just comes out with a knife, and it's just no matter what car goes by,
takes a stab at it.
Well, we didn't when we went down there to park. We didn't get in the parking lot, because we're just like visitors at the time.
That parking lot with the big gates.
Right.
Yeah.
We hadn't signed up for that. So, we're like a few blocks away, parked on the street, and they give us Wi-Fi. And I'm like, I don't know whether we should carry these back to the truck.
No.
You hold these. I'll run and get the car.
Put them in an old paper bag, muss yourself up, walk slow and shuffle to your car. Just look like them.
Not shave for a couple days.
That's what you got to do in those neighborhoods. You ever see Shaun of the Dead?
Yeah.
See when they imitated the zombies and just walked right through them? That's what you got to do. You got to just muss yourself up and shuffle and mumble to yourself. You get through and drive away.
There you go. Did you guys sit down with marketing?
Yeah, I think we did. Real quick.
What? Wait, marketing. What's that word you said?
They will promise you a lot, and eventually they won't even return your email. So
eventually your name will be prominently displayed over a urinal.
But see Fez and I always want to stay under the radar. We basically don't want any attention paid to us whatsoever.
You've come to the right place.
We're doing this big Opie and Anthony auction for the victims of Hurricane Katrina, so I wrote an email to Hugh Pinero, Eric Logan, Don Wicklund, who runs 202, and Gary Hahn, who's, what is his title, marketing or whatever?
I could come up with a few. I probably shouldn't.
And it was a long email about how we could possibly capitalize on this auction and
on the tragedy.
Well, not
capitalize on a tragedy.
Well, what are we doing basically to get the word out so we could get bigger donations?
We want to open a boat shop.
You're pretty close to the truth, actually. And everyone else wrote me back, but the guy in marketing doesn't even write me back. Not even the courtesy of write me back. So that's what we're dealing with.
You know what? Yesterday I got an email. Do you guys remember a guy named Well Hung? He used to.
Yes, sure.
Yeah, he's down there. And says his house under 18 feet of water. He was the guy, I think, that when the teen bus got pulled over, he was keeping an eye on everybody. He used to work.
Oh, yeah.
He used to work down there in the tombs. So, and he always sends us turduckens every single year. So he's washed away. Just literally washed away.
Yeah, his whole place gone. Yeah. Jeez. Did he? He obviously left, though.
Yeah,
he wasn't one of those people I've seen in the paper today refusing to leave. You see, they all kind of look the same, the people that are refusing to leave. Yeah. They're white people. I saw white people with no teeth, none in their head. They look like those crazy people on the New Orleans edition of Cops. Right. That are constantly beating each other up and being hauled away drunk.
But, see, a lot of those people, they've never traveled in their life. They've never been anywhere.
So they're petrified.
But that one little piece of the world, that's all they know.
And they don't want to leave that.
Right.
They're refusing.
And now they got waterfront property, so they're thinking this is a good thing for them.
Yeah.
And that's not a joke. If you see some of the pictures in the paper, I'm thinking that's what's going through some of these people's minds.
They think it's a good thing.
Look at us. We got the waterfront now.
Well, what about all those bio people that you would always just see like catching alligators and stuff down there? They must have all be going, right? Because they were living in shacks.
Yeah, that's all gone. Oh, the swampland and stuff where they used to, gone. And there are people that are refusing shelter on Carnival cruise ships. Carnival sent a few cruise ships down there, and they were going to take people out of the Astrodome and bring them over to these cruise ships. Right. And they said no.
Would you want to hang on the water at this point?
Especially if you were black, would you want to get on a ship? You know where you're going?
They think it's a trap. Remember what happened the last time?
Laying them head to foot.
It could even get worse. There could even be a worse place you're thinking.
I think they're going to end up rowing it.
Well, because of this tragedy, if we're going to get rid of a lot of these WOW stickers and Opie and Anthony with Laverne and Shirley, it's the way to help right now.
It's the way to help.
It's up to like $16,000, sir.
And we're cleaning out the closets.
And $15,000 of that is for skates.
Well, yeah.
What is it about these special skates?
I don't know, but I'm really panicking now because these stupid inline skates, I got them for between $250 and $300. Mm-hmm. Now they're worth over $5,000, so I'm nervous now when I'm putting them on in the morning because I'm still using them to commute to work. And I don't want them to break. I don't want anything to happen to them because, it's going to get a lot of good money.
Is there a jetpack on the back of them, and why are they $5,000 now? You signed it?
Who the fuck knows? But now I got a light.
Look at this.
Wow, that looks like from Amazing Race.
This is how I go to work now.
It's a kind of a small halogen light, and it's on a headband. You go to work like that.
I'm going to work like this now because I don't want anything to happen to the skates, and it's now dark when I go through Central Park.
Wow. Uh-oh.
So I got a miner's
Jesus, is that
headband light on, so I could see all the potholes and stuff, so I don't fuck up myself and fuck up these $5,000 skates.
Yeah. Charlie Logan called. You're no longer allowed to sit at the rock table down at the
not with that
cafeteria.
That's actually perfect for ass eating.
It's really obnoxious.
Leave it to Jimmy.
And it really pisses off the Lance Armstrong wannabes in the park when they're biking at 5:30 in the morning.
A lot of Lance Armstrong people riding bikes now.
So other people wear this stuff. It's not just you. I mean, isn't something you made yourself?
You got guys with blinking lights that are really obnoxious and stuff. But,
blinking lights.
Yeah, I don't feel like cabbing it yet.
Right.
But now it's dark when I leave my apartment, so I got this headband light thing.
How far are you coming down with that thing on?
I don't know, like
20
blocks or so, yeah. Through the park, it's a little scary there, and there's things that I could hit on the way and mess up those $5,000 skates. So anyway, we're gonna add more items to the Opie and Anthony auction starting tomorrow.
I found some famous stuff in my closet.
Ronnie, it's all behind you. Maybe you could
found. Let me. Hawk, could you bring that over here, please?
Well, why don't we explain as you bring that over? I brought in today the WOW shirt signed by Cindy Williams. Remember when we did the Cindy Williams Has Been Corner?
Her feelings.
It's a very famous Opie and Anthony bit that I'm sure is still being circulated around the internet. It's probably on onavirus.com. And then I think it was Big Kev went to one of these signings and actually had Cindy Williams sign a WOW shirt.
It's tear-stained.
It basically says, "Love to Opie and Anthony, your favorite has been, Cindy Williams." It's all framed and all nice, and there's even a picture proving that she signed this WOW shirt. That's going to go up for auction tomorrow.
That's a big item. That's a big money item.
That's huge because it has something to do.
Is that
with
Big Kev in the picture or Cindy Williams?
So that's ready to go up there.
She got heavy.
We have the autographed baseballs going up tomorrow from Buck Martinez, Kevin Kennedy, Larry Boa, and Cal Ripken Jr. We got another Robert Plant autographed CD that's going up there. Some dice stuff. A piece of the Rolling Stones pinball machine.
Oh, yeah. That's
autograph.
Famous. Yeah.
Famous.
That's going up there tomorrow. That's another famous
Talk
item.
about it enough. It's famous.
That's right.
If the skates are 5,000,
right,
it's got to be huge.
That's going to be 10 G's.
Before we get to what Anthony brought, just a couple more of these items. The Hot Shannon body mold, when this girl came in naked and then we made a mold of her really hot body.
I was hanging in our office for
a long time.
Right up until we got the boot.
Also, we're auctioning off Intern for a Day, Master Pose, in honor of the Bloody Gi set. What is that? An autographed gi with a handmade katana sword made of blood, wood, and oak.
All right, I'm in $10 already.
Yeah, that's how they got John Bonet.
Some actually
auctioning off a little cowboy hat,
little boots.
Oh, a blonde lock in it. Little boots.
Let's see. A MiFi with a lifetime subscription. That's going to be a huge item starting tomorrow when we add all these new items tomorrow. Norton's Randy Johnson jersey autographed.
I guess. I don't see that being a big item. Some shirt that I signed.
I thought Randy Johnson autographed this.
Oh.
No. Norton's childhood framed Ozzy photo collection.
Oh, that's a big one.
Be nice.
The O&A Mardi Gras Crazy Horse banner autographed.
Look at that.
That's kind of
Who knows if there's going to be another one?
Opie's
Crazy Horse would like that.
Oh yeah.
Anything really.
My pants that I gave to Travis. My jeans.
Oh.
They came back yesterday. We're going to throw them up there. We'll see what that gets. Some flameware from Martini Steve. An original Paisano of Mulberry Street T-shirt.
Right.
Jesus Christ.
Well, that's a tough one to get, man. You sometimes have to go all the way down to Mulberry Street and just walk by.
That's right.
The sleeves already cut off. The arms? What have we done there?
Some spaghetti sauce stains in the front.
Anyway, besides that, Anthony has brought in some fine items. You want to explain your items,
Ben
Anthony?
couldn't believe I brought this in. This is the WBCN Patriots sweatshirt thing that was given to me by Oedipus. Remember that?
Okay.
No, that's not.
I have the same one in my closet.
We all got one.
I just don't want it. This, though, now we're getting to the item. This is famous. This is the Hitmen from the XFL. Remember the XFL?
Jersey Hitmen.
This is the Hitmen.
Actually, you wore that on TV when we were doing that dumb XFL pregame show.
You will watch us, run after the football, and I was wearing this very jacket.
Is that signed by He Hate Me?
Oh, going back there, Ronnie. Very nice.
Reference.
Now, this jacket is double infamy. This also from XFL, the NBC jacket.
That's when we sat down with them and said, all right, we'll do your dumb pregame show. And I think you said, I want an NBC jacket.
I said, I want an NBC jacket thrown in on the deal, and they gave me one. It's NBC New York on the back. Of course, the famous NBC logo in the front. And this...
It's like a varsity jacket, by the way, just to describe it further.
The leather sleeves and the leather collar. Yeah. But this very jacket, if you Google, I guess, one of the newspapers here in New York, the Daily News or the Post, I'm not sure which one it was, but I was wearing this in a photograph in the newspaper walking out of the court after my divorce was settled. Very famous jacket right here with my great ex-wife next to me. I'm surprised I was able to leave with this after the settlement. I thought anything on my back would have been gone.
Could she sign it too?
Yeah, we'll get her to sign it.
All we need is the picture that was in the Post of you wearing that
jacket. Wearing the jacket.
It'll make it more famous.
Exactly. And then just a number of these press passes from the old show. We got and some of the new ones. We got the original Hard Rock Cafe from XM when we first announced that we were going to be on. O&A softball, celebrity softball, all access pass. We'll sign these things too. But how about the red carpet for the VMAs? Remember when Retarded Laverne and Shirley broadcast?
Very nice.
We got those. XFL ones. River Rave 2000 BCN VIP passes. But the real big one here. The Son of the Beach on FX.
Wow.
Media press pass. You might remember Opie and I talking about this. We got press credentials to go in and watch Howie do his Son of the Beach press conference, which we were promptly thrown out of.
Because Howie couldn't take it. He sat in his limo outside the Park Plaza.
Called our GM
waiting
personally.
for us to get kicked out before he would start the press conference. This is a true story.
And told our
you
GM,
guys ever hear this
quote,
story?
get them the fuck out of here.
It was just as we got to New York.
Yeah. Really?
Jeremy had to go running all the way up the street to...
Yeah, it's a true story. Howard, from his limo, calling our GM. He knew our GM pretty well because he worked with Ken Stevens for many, many years and started yelling and screaming, what the fuck are these guys doing at my press conference?
Yep.
And then he threatened Ken Stevens' job, so Jeremy had to run down and get us out of there. And the whole time, Anthony and I were in the back of the room where the press conference is going to take place, clueless, just having little finger sandwiches going, God, I wonder why the press conference is late. It was supposed to start at noon. It's now 12:30. And then slowly but surely we're on to the gag here that people are starting to look at us like, and we're like, uh-oh, I think we might be the problem.
So you weren't even planning on trashing it or doing anything weird? You just
No, just kind of wanted to hang out and watch the event.
We're going to just check it out from the back row, you know. The guys that were the real problem never got kicked out of the thing. Psycho Mark and others were in the front row, actually. But then they panicked and they ended up doing nothing.
Look at this one. Jim Norton Yellow Discipline Tour, 2002,
nice.
all access. And 7701, it's the Stone Pony. Remember that when we went down Asbury Park for the road show? Just plenty of these things.
And to get all access, by the way, to a Jim Norton show, you have to have one of those badges or tits.
That's a front and back pass, believe it or not.
But we'll sign these things and then put these up.
All right, so all the new items are going to go up tomorrow. Hopefully we'll get some good ones.
So New Orleans will be back on their feet in no time.
Oh, with all this stuff, please.
No.
Stop.
Well, we're giving it a shot. We got some WWE autograph stuff. Wow Roadshow shirt from 2001 autographed, whatever that is. Well, some of this stuff will be interesting for somebody out there.
You know, Fez has a bunch of pictures, wooden frames of just pictures of cocks. Why don't you bring those in?
I can do that. The cock collection.
All right.
I'm saving that for Sotheby's.
I would give something, but I got jumped in New Orleans one time, so forget about it.
Fuck them.
Yeah, it's an old grudge. I can't let it go.
I say cut out the middleman and just send all this stuff to New Orleans.
First of all, I ended up losing about $500 in that deal out of my wallet. It was a bad drug deal. I'd like to take that back from the money that you guys send down there. I just need about $585 and everything's
You want
cool.
it? That's nothing compared to the skates.
Is that a real story?
And then then we're even. Then everything's even. Well, you try, being whacked out 4 o'clock in the morning making a deal. Anything can happen. I was up for 3 days. I don't know what the hell's going on anymore.
From the balcony, one of the balconies in New Orleans during Mardi Gras, we were watching a gang of black youths beating up white people. Just watching them. The streets, of course, packed. It's Mardi Gras.
Right.
And there's little pathways and openings on the sidewalk that people walk through. And these black gentlemen were lining the sidewalk. And anytime a white couple would walk through, the woman was groped, just grabbed, her pussy, her tits, everything was just grabbed. And when the guy turned around and said anything, he was clocked in the face, just close-fisted, boom, right in the face. And we watched it from the balcony until, for about, I guess, a half hour or so, and then the cops came and arrested one of the guys.
Isn't it great to be above everything and just looking down going, wow, that's
you
nuts.
almost feel like the emperor at the Colosseum. Like you're just watching people getting destroyed. Could be death, maybe.
One time I'm in Daytona Beach, and I'm up in one of those high hotels, and I'm looking down, and you can drive on the beach there, and I saw some guy pull in and run over top of a woman
Jesus.
And gets stuck on. He couldn't pull out, because the car is in, and he's kicking up sand, and she's screaming. And from where I'm looking, I can look over about 20 feet and just see people putting suntan on. I felt like Steven Spielberg directing Jaws. I'm just seeing one horrible thing, and then here's a sweet little picture.
Little Kittner kids being ripped apart, and then he's putting on a little sunblock.
This is what God feels like. You look down, you see some nice things, you see some awful things, but it just doesn't affect you. It's like a TV. It has nothing to do with you anymore.
It's not happening, and you feel exactly the same as you did before you saw it happen, so it doesn't matter.
Matter of fact, I was having half a sandwich, just looking down. My God, look at the tragedy. It's awful.
Worst day in her life, best day in the guy's life, just a few yards down the beach on vacation.
There's got to be a lesson there if Keith Olbermann could come up with some kind of poetic thing about what life is all about.
Maybe could ramble about it for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Hey, going back to the auction really fast, I see Nathaniel's kind of studying the current prices of the items that are up there now. You want your item to be in second place, don't you?
Yeah, he was pushing that this morning in the office. Opie goes, wow, the skates are up to like $5,000 or something.
The skates are up to, $5,050.
And Nathaniel's got to go, well, my sign is in second. It's
Well,
like it's a distant second, my friend.
It's now in third, sir.
Third? Uh-oh, what's second?
And Opie and Anthony, real comedians of Own a Pack, number 2, whatever the hell that is. What is that, Hawk? Is going for $710.
It's a bunch of CDs and DVDs from our comedian friends.
All right.
Nice to donate.
And they're all...
I know a thing or two about a thing or two.
Because of his haircut. Because of his haircut.
This boy's life.
We do a lot of visuals for radio. And
liar whore, and you know it.
And then
you get it doggy style or from the side.
You get a doggy style, you can get laying on your side. Those are your only choices. My house, and I get to say.
What do you got? Every line from the movie?
Just about. These guys are great.
Fancy talk for a whore.
For a whore. We got a great staff. I'm sure Earl will get you tons of clips when you guys start Monday.
Oh, jeez.
Third
for the
place.
color purple.
Third place.
Hey.
In third place, Opie and Anthony's assault on the media sign that got Arthur Chien fired. Of course, that's Nathaniel's item because he was holding it on live TV.
That item
day.
just made the newspaper.
That's right.
Did Arthur Chien sign it?
We're working on him. Yeah.
That would be great if he
How
would
about
sign
Cabby?
$680 for that. It's in third place right now.
Nice one.
All right. We only have Pharrell for another few minutes. We should say hi to Scott Pharrell, another old friend of the show. Scott.
Jesus Christ, you guys are doling out gifts and shit. How about a round of golf with Pharrell for $10,000 and a bottle of scotch? Hey, I got a better ass story. You were talking about beatings and stompings and pummelings. I was in Atlanta a year ago when the Steelers played the Raiders. I walked into a bar where I used to get pizza every Sunday while I was getting drunk, and I would pick up my pizza and go home and get drunk. And I walked into a Raider party with 150 black guys, and I'm wearing a Jack Lambert jersey, 58 Hall of Fame jersey, and within 2 minutes I had 3 large black men stomping the shit out of me and beating the shit out of me, kicking me in the face, spleen, abdomen, dragging me out in the parking lot. I had my head in cement. I got free when the bartender jumped over the bar, tackled the guy. I got free. I ran for my life. Never pressed charges. I figured all the black people in Atlanta would have me killed. I love stompings. And I'm not lying.
No, I don't doubt it.
It was a year ago, almost to the day. It's the anniversary with the Patriots and the Raiders playing tonight. I wonder who will get killed at that game.
Wow.
Those are great fans. What's shaking, boys? Hey, Opie, what's the problem? You afraid to go golfing with me? I'll take your money and your brother's.
I haven't even played this year, believe it or not.
You suck.
All right.
I've asked you so many times to golf, I've given up.
All right, we'll have to figure it out. What's going
happening, Ron and Ron, you freaks?
Ron and
Ron, that's the old guys.
Yeah, I know the old guys. That's what I grew up with.
That's what he used to.
Grew up with Marconi.
Where was he living? Sarasota. Yeah.
What's happening, boys?
When you used to go to all the Stranger shows.
I'm telling you what, Stranger Rock.
Is there a market Pharrell hasn't worked in?
Yeah.
No.
Pharrell's been fired from pretty much every state at this point, right?
I have.
Where are you now? We don't even know.
I remember the last time I was at your party, I think, and I tried to go across the street to get in the building, and they wouldn't let me in the building. I was stupid enough to not understand that I'd been whacked, I guess, for... I told everybody to, basically Pharrell off. I was trying to just whatever, stand up for you dudes and say everybody sucks and to kiss my ass.
Yeah, the last time we saw Pharrell, he was all freaked out, going, I need this job. You guys had just got launched, and he's like, it's just us, it's just the three of us, and then we never saw him again.
That was it.
It didn't,
he got launched with us.
Yeah, it was like the following day.
Most people don't realize that Pharrell, you went on the air the next day and really just let him have it, right?
I went on the air and I told, repetitively, a bunch of people had threatened you guys, saying they hope that the sponsors all leaving the station loses its license and that we all go to hell because we're sinners. And I told them all one by one to fuck off like in a row. And it just didn't go well for me that day.
No.
Did you ever see what the dump sheets used to look like from Pharrell's show? They would go on like the phone book. They would dump him about 800 times a show.
I was so drunk, I thought that all the time that I never knew there was like a little. I think this guy Schwartz was sitting in the back with a cigar and just pressing the button all day like some kind of evil monster. I never even knew they had a backup plan to dump every word I said. I thought my shows were cool. I never knew they were empty.
Well, I'll tell you, because you could read these things and they would write down what they had to dump, and one of them was, I'll kick you in the cunt. I'm not kidding. And I look at it, and I'm going, it's 7:05, New York radio. How did he think it was going to slip by?
It's that FCC gray area. He wasn't really sure.
And it was
Safe Harbor.
It was listed Paul from Ken Stevens. Nothing?
That was funny.
Yeah, I thought it was too.
Yeah, they got me in Miami, the FCC, for talking about Howard David's wife's box smelling, and that didn't go over too well. I guess they nabbed me 3 times in Miami for shows that were foul.
And you were doing great in Miami, right?
Ever since.
Miami, you were a gigantic hit. All my friends there were mad about you.
Yeah, it was a huge show. It was #1 in mornings, but once again, I got a bunch of ballless pussies that ran it that went soft the minute I got in trouble, and they didn't.
Right.
I mean, it just got ugly. It sucked. The last time I had fun, I think I was doing your softball game and smoking with all those freaks after the game on film and whipping a beer can at some guy's face and breaking his nose.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Where are you now, Scott? Are you still
in New York? I do Fox Sports Radio. I do. I know it's on 142. I do a college football gambling show on Saturday mornings where we essentially pick games, spreads, totals, and people lose their marriages and families. We gamble heavily and drink heavily. And then on Sundays I do an NFL show at 10 on 142, and then I do a sports business show with this big Harvard lawyer on Saturday mornings where we talk about money and cash and hookers.
Are you part of XM yet or no?
Nah, I'm not a part of it. They're too soft to hire me.
Yeah, we got to get...
Your boy Elo's afraid of me. He thinks I'm the devil, and Straley won't hire me because he knows I'll come in there and torture him every day and make fun of the Red Sox because I hate the bastards.
Right on. Well, we're giving out these golden tickets, and we definitely want to give one to Scott Pharrell, so we got to figure something out.
I couldn't believe it. What's the problem? The last time I saw you, though, we were eating breakfast with a couple of porno stars. Well, I think Norton was in love with one of them. The fat one with zits all over her chest. Boy, I wonder how she got those.
No, Tony Roberts.
God, those 2 chicks were pigs. Meanwhile, Eamon's looking at him like he thinks they're the greatest looking chicks ever.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there just going, Jesus, I'm in hell.
We had lunch.
I'm in a hell.
We had lunch with our super agent.
Oh, yeah.
And, and the porn stars that we made cry that morning were at another table at this particular restaurant. And she hated us.
The last time I saw that many hookers, I was in New Orleans doing a show at Pat O'Brien's. The people were throwing bottles at my head as I was dive up on they put me on a steel cage, and I've never heard language like that before. When people were whipping bottles at me, it was unbelievable. But that town rocks. That sucks what happened to those people down there.
Hey, who's winning the Super Bowl this year, Scott?
Well, God, I don't know. It's going to be crazy. I think somebody's got to knock them off their perch. Everybody thought, the Steelers would do it last year, going into that game 16-1, but they should have never beat the Jets. You guys are here in New York. The Jets had them twice. They had 2 field goals. It came down to, Brian choking on both kicks. They should have gone to the Super Bowl, the Jets. The Steelers went, and the AFC Championship game got smacked by, I think they were down 30 at the half. And now that Miami's lost to Florida State in college football, my life's over. I'm focusing now on the Yankees the rest of the way. I'm going Friday night, Saturday afternoon, and then Sunday I'm going to go see the Giants in Arizona. All I do is go to games and party, man. I can't wait to go to the Bronx for the Red Sox series. It's going to be kick-ass, and it's just the feeling out there and the enthusiasm and the crowd and just 60,000 people partying and chugging beer.
What did you ask him?
Something about the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
Super Bowl, but now he's talking about partying and
something
about
the Super Bowl.
We picked the Super Bowl at this point. I mean, but the bottom line is there's going to be a lot of teams that are going to do well. and a lot of teams aren't. I think Herm Edwards got a great team. I think Pittsburgh went on a huge run last year, but they'll come off of that and get a little flat. I don't think anybody's going to be afraid of teams like the Dolphins and Ricky Williams because they have no quarterbacks. I think the best teams are in the NFC. Guys like Michael Vick, he's impossible to stop. Every week I'm picking games, and it's great against the number. Only gambling. I don't just pick winners. We just pick who's going to cover the spread.
I hear you, bro. I hear you. Hey,
Ron and Fez, you find a place to live yet in New York City?
Yeah, we're both them.
That's great. I'm living out here with all the rich people in the suburbs. All I hear is birds, and people don't talk to one another, the neighbors, and I got a baby now. Can you believe that?
Yeah, how's fatherhood there, Scott?
You never thought I'd have a baby.
That was odd.
Didn't you hear the baby? Wah, wah, I gotta have something right now. I'm really going out of my mind.
Strap in, bitch. Get me a bottle. This is bullshit. Give me more food. Bullshit.
I can't imagine you as a father.
Yeah, but, I got hot 34D. Ever since she had the baby, she's got big titties, and it's great for me that I got all these hot women around me always, and then now I got little Gunner, and he pulls them in, too. I went to a baby party in Long Island, and there was, like, 300 milfies there, all these hot moms with little kids, and all the women there were horny. It was, like, the biggest party I've ever been to in my life.
A baby party?
Yeah, what's a baby party?
Birthday party, and there's, like, 200 women walking around trying to outdo each other with their outfits, and God, I thought I was in a penthouse party. It was the greatest thing I've ever been to in my life.
He's trying to make sounding to going to a baby party sound cool. It ain't happening, Pharrell. You had to go to a fucking baby party.
My life's over, man. I'm going to baby parties.
Yeah,
no, it's the coolest thing in a lot of chicks.
Good point, Anthony. You were at Chuck E. Cheese. Who are you kidding?
That's next for you, Opie, with your lover. You're going to start going to Chuck E. Cheese baby parties.
He comes back.
What about you, Ann? Haven't you got married yet? Christ,
No.
That one chick for 15 years. I'm getting bored with that story.
We never, ever get married again.
Jesus Christ. God damn, I saw Fez's gut. Dude, between the two of you, your guts are impressive.
This is a roast. It turned it into a roast. That's awful.
Why are you talking about us there, Scott?
How about that whackback site? Those people should be committed. I look at that thing. That is scary stuff, man. That is evil. I love that. It's like an empire.
Oh, they love you on it.
They're freaks on that thing. That's why I saw the picture of your big-ass, girthy stomach and hairy belly and just farting and gas. You still smoking cigars, Bennington?
Yeah, sure I am. Smoking one now. Why don't you send me one, Scott?
Get some Partagas and some scotch and dip them in there for maybe some college football and pro football games. We're going to the game. I'm going to go to that Monday night game, too, the Saints game, just for the hell of it.
Yeah, we'll have a baby party.
Yeah. But look, Gunner, he's 9 months old. He's already going to tailgates, man. He loves kegers, chicks flashing, doing wow action.
Throw him around like a football.
Everywhere I go, I get action like that. They're showing me their rack. I can't even leave the house.
You didn't have a baby. You had a sidekick.
Yeah. Fat skank.
All right, Pharrell, we got to go.
All right, good luck to you. Tell your bosses they're femmes.
Yeah, that'll help.
We really want to.
Whatever. Like, I care what they think at this point.
We really want to give.
Them or Eatman.
We really want to give the next golden ticket to Scott Pharrell. We got to make that happen.
Like, I believe that Willy Wonka tale.
You know what? Now I'm starting to believe. Now I understand why those people jumped his ass last year. They're heroes.
They wanted to kill me, but now that I haven't died, every Friday I should come on and do all of my college and pro picks so people can pay off their debts and all their freaking credit card bills and put their kids through college. It's the only thing good about football is gambling. Football sucks until you start betting on it. It's great.
Fantasy football. It's all the rage.
You really do pay attention.
I want to gamble on real games with real flow and C-notes and dimes and hookers and scotch.
You're not a big fan of the fantasy football. Why?
What?
Why aren't you a fan of the fantasy football?
People calling me a week. Hey, Pharrell, you want to do a trade? Hey, you want to swap wide receivers? How about we swap wives, you whore?
I'll trade the baby eventually.
Fantasy league, and I also did a baseball fantasy league. And by the time the season's over, I'm ready to join the Marines and go gay. It's so hard. There's 50 million transactions a week. I gotta make my pick. It's harder than having to go to school when I was a kid. Anything that takes like me thinking and showing up and having to plan and strategize, I'm fucked. I can't do that stuff.
It's all the rage, though, man. Everyone's playing fantasy football.
As long as you know, I got a lot of ADD. I'm all over the place. I'm just ratted. I'm over here. I'm over there. I'm crazy.
All right, give us the big out here.
You guys be cool. Shake it up.
No. Give us.
I love those whackbaggers, Ron and Fez. Congratulations. Opie, you're a pussy for not golfing with me, and I'll stick to that. And finally marry that bitch. See ya.
I think that covers it.
Yeah. For real.
Jesus.
One of the old gang. We love them.
We should get him to come Friday to drink with us.
Oh, why don't you promote that?
Friday at BB King's in Times Square. We're going to be there at 5:30. Starting at 5:30. Free beer. And I will outdrink anyone that shows up.
Oh, boy.
Now, Ant, you're coming out Friday?
I'm absolutely
going.
I think I'm coming. Yeah, I'll be there now.
Yeah.
Jimmy?
Yeah.
Here's what I want to do with this, because, it's like a welcome to Ron and Fez, but I also say this is Good Luck Jimmy Norton party.
Oh.
And we'll do one of those things where you're getting on the train and we're all cheering for you. He's on his way to Hollywood, everybody.
Right. We're running alongside.
He goes.
Then I come back the next day disgraced and fired because I can't fucking act.
Yeah, that one day we'll all be like, you'll be doing it for all of us.
Yeah.
We'll be living through you. He's on his way to Hollywood. There he goes. Say hi to Lassie for me, Jim.
He's going to be a star.
I'm going to learn the casino business.
So it's kind of a welcome Ron and Fez, but a bon voyage Jimmy.
Yeah.
And good luck.
Yeah, Jimmy leaves Wednesday.
Yeah.
Look,
it's the Brown Derby. He'll just have this little suitcase and he's walking up and
walking. It's all superimposed behind him as he's looking up at all the bright lights of Hollywood.
But he'll be back because a lot of people are panicking on us.
Oh, back in a few weeks. I'm going, come back. It's 3 weeks on, 1 week off, and then 2 weeks on, 1 week. It works out fine.
We're going to figure it out.
It works
Don't worry
out
about
fine.
it.
You're bi-coastal.
Yes.
That's what you want?
Yeah.
Yes, I suck dick on the East Coast and the West Coast. LOL, folks.
Can I at least get an assist? I felt like I just laid it right up there for him.
That was a good pitch, Ron.
It was a softball, and I turned into a dick joke. I was shocked.
Golfing is a wonderful way to spend an afternoon. A true test of dexterity, skill, and, seems to have landed in some dog mess. Oh, not again. Ramon, wash my balls.
All right. Still trying to eat this egg sandwich.
With all the time we get
Holy yes.
during breaks, you're still having a problem.
We've got 5 people in studio here. Why don't we take, eating breaks?
You want to take shifts?
Yeah.
Like a watch?
We got cookies from Martini Steve's wife.
Aren't they wonderful? Everyone's eating them and enjoying them.
Ronnie's got his bagel. Jimmy's got his apple.
I swear I'm eating one of these cookies and I think I got dosed. It's starting to kick in a little bit.
Yeah, really?
We got dosed on the air one time by an old lady, and Fez, you'd never really...
I'd never delved into any of that area before.
No?
Yeah. And this old lady, she had to be, 80? She comes in with these cookies, and I guess she was from Normal or whatever that thing was. So we're eating cookies. No other shift are you starving except for mornings.
Yeah.
You'll eat lasagna at 6:45 when you're doing the morning. I can't understand it.
It's so true.
You can't get enough food. And so we ate a bunch of these cookies, and about 40 minutes into it, I got that little tinge, like reality just snapped, like in the Matrix, where you just start to feel yourself going into the mirror. And I look over at Fez, and he and this producer who had eaten a bunch of it were just holding on to each other.
The ceiling started to come down on me. I saw the ceiling getting lower and lower.
Nice blood.
Why would you eat anything
it wasn't
that
nice for
people
me.
bring in?
Well, we learned now.
Yeah.
And plus, we, thought there was drugs in it. So you had to do what you can do. But Fez actually lost it and thought that he was in a madhouse somehow.
Yeah, I got sick. I got the spins and everything, and I went running to the men's room, and I was puking, and I was throwing up, and my vomit was all sparkly and everything. And I ended up...
That's a good one.
I ended up laying down on a radio station men's room floor.
Wonderful.
And when I started to look around, all I saw was the tiny little tiles on the floor that the floor was made up of.
Yeah.
And I couldn't find a door or a window because I was up against.
Your head was right up against the.
Right up against the floor, and I thought to myself, they had me committed. That I'm in a mental institution. I'm in one of those rubber rooms.
And in his defense, we were fucked up. I mean, we were just tripping balls. 9:30 in the morning, and finally, I did the only thing you can do, is put on some blues. I threw on some John Mayo and put headphones on his head, and go. The last thing I said was, "You are going to have to ride this out, brother.
Yeah.
You're just going to have to ride that snake as far as you can."
Eventually, I became part of the futon.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
do, and that's
that'll
good.
happen.
A huge, just a big push of gravity against my
Yeah.
body.
I gave him that whole, hey, anything you think of, you invented speech. Hey, any thoughts you have, they're coming from you. You're really at one with the universe.
Right.
And the whole time I'm thinking, I don't think I'm going to fucking think of that.
I'm going to freak out. Do you have audio of that show?
You know what? I think we do somewhere, don't we?
You got to play
It's
that.
got to be somewhere.
And we forced you to improv and do things, and we just lost it.
Oh, that's great. Well, Ron and Fez
Wow.
are starting up on this channel Monday, right after us here.
Isn't it odd that, like, we're doing a show here, and there's Ron and Fez, and we had Pharrell on the phone,
Right.
and, like, that shit just never happens in
No.
radio. It
No,
never
never
happens.
does. It
You
never
don't
does.
you don't hook up again. After NEW, that was it. Go our separate ways.
Yeah.
Everyone. But now, look, one big happy family again.
Do you think?
Getting the band back together, slowly but surely.
Is it going to actually work this time, though?
Yeah, I think so.
Or is this set up for another
we know
disappointment?
we've learned our lesson.
Yeah, we're like pussies now.
Are you?
Yeah. We won't do, like, church sex things,
Good.
And that's we were just topping ourselves. For years we spent years at NEW just topping the shit we did last time that made the paper. You get all excited. You see it's in
Right.
the paper. It's like, oh, the voyeur bus, something, arrested tits, mayor involved, the police commissioner. And you're like, yeah, this is kind of cool. What can we do next?
We loved when the mayor had a comment about us.
And just said, stupid.
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 It's stupid.
It's wonderful.
Stupid.
Stupid. And you spend your whole career just trying to top it. Now we're like, hey, let the kids do the crazy stuff.
Right. Because
They're
if they
just
if they didn't stop you, you'd be like, all right, next Friday, a rape and a murder. And
We
just
were
leaving it
working
at
on
that.
We were working on it, whether off the air or on the air or off. We were working on it.
A wilding. Just
Yeah, we just.
Well, remember you had that rape contest they stopped?
Yes.
That you were so mad about? And you were furious.
Run around the park for Erin.
And
Yeah.
we had
yesterday.
we had Erin in yesterday.
Oh, that was the
That was
that
her.
was the lady?
That week. Yeah, this girl came in.
A rape contest.
And she turned out to be go out with Jim Norton, and she was in yesterday telling all the stories. Jim Norton's ex-girlfriend. It was a great show yesterday. But that girl was she was all for it because she talked about the rape fantasy she has.
Yeah.
Right.
She actually talked about one yesterday again.
And she had no problem having sex with a listener. So it was going to be a bunch of listeners going
well, no,
through
there
Central
wasn't. There
Park.
wasn't going to be sex.
Of course there was. Of course there was.
All it was run around park for Erin. It was
Right.
going to be like a cute little tag football game with a hot chick with double D implants.
We tried to do Fez ass rape test after that.
Yeah, right. Just didn't work.
But yeah, she
Didn't
would
work.
she would just take off, and whoever caught her would win. I don't know, $1,000 or tickets to see whatever.
And in Central
Sticks.
Park.
Yeah,
They had to do something to her, didn't they? Have to rip her top off or something?
Yeah, you had a flag or something. Rip a flag.
Yeah,
off.
that's all. It was very
Spank on
simple.
her.
And then they told us we couldn't do it, and I lost my mind.
You did.
That's my mental state at NEW. I thought we could pretty much get away with
Why
murder.
can't we do the rape contest?
Why can't we do run around park for
And,
Erin?
well, there was already some women's group that had heard you talk about it.
Yeah.
And they were
They were
freaking
just flipping out.
And then I remember taking a meeting because we wanted to do this Feels for Meals. We're going to try it again. We've been trying to do this contest, this fundraiser,
For years.
for at least 5 or 6 years now. Every year we try to do it, and every year we get shut down. Maybe the lawyers down at XM will understand. It's simple. You get a bunch of refrigerator boxes outside the studio. We had the girls; they wanted to do it.
Yeah.
The girls are topless in the refrigerator
We
boxes.
tested out the
We
box.
tested it out with a brother and sister team, if you remember.
Jesus Christ, we were the worst show ever.
The brother felt up his sister on our show. It was quite impressive.
Yeah, put his sister in the refrigerator box, and then you cut 2 holes out,
Yeah.
about tit level, and guys would give donations,
Right.
and then they would step up, put their hands in, and cop a feel.
Cop a feel. It was
Feels
called
for meals.
Feels for meals.
Nice. For the
How about
homeless.
For Katrina. Why don't we do that for the Katrina
Because
victims?
it doesn't rhyme with feels.
Well,
feels for Katrina is silly.
If Don's listening, we're dead serious. We want to give this a try again. It's called Feels for Meals. People line up outside the studio. They hand in their canned goods to grab some cans, right? Or some cash, and you feel. Do a little feel, and we would raise, I'm telling you, thousands and thousands of dollars. But
remember how nasty we'd get in the office with Ken during these meetings, and he'd say, "No, well, the lawyers came back and said you can't do it," and we'd sit there all grumpy.
Yeah.
Come on, Ken.
Right.
When will the lawyers learn to work with our show? Why can't we do the rape?
Ken, get in there and fight for us.
Fight for us, Ken.
Right. I remember the lawyers.
Still.
I remember the lawyers got back to us and said, guys, we have a problem with the contest. It's something to do with prostitution.
Yeah, prostitution.
That's what you want to hear from the corporate lawyers, you know.
There's got to be something you can do with cutters, though, like little girls that like being cut.
We did cutters.
Yeah.
We
and
did it all.
Bring them in, let them get sliced for $1.
We did it all.
We had teen pajama parties.
You guys were so obsessed with the word teen for a while.
Who isn't?
It freaked everyone out.
Now you throw a pre in front of it.
Preteens.
Look, man.
Because that's what happens. You just keep going. It's that slippery slope. It's everything the Christians say. Everything is gateway.
Teen makes everything sound hot, though. Hurricane victim. That's kind of sad. But
teen
hurricane victim?
Then it starts to work. It's, she's got nowhere to go.
Now you're starting to think a little.
You're starting to think a little.
We had
wandering around the Astrodome.
We had teen girls come in for a pajama party. Remember, they were all dressed in their PJs, and we made them do pajama party things like have pillow fights. As we just sat there and gawked.
Like bad uncles.
Yeah, just filthy old men.
What's going on, girls? What are you up to? Let's lights
What are
out.
you doing? What's going on over there?
Make us come downstairs.
We're going to write a book. We're going to write a book. We're going to talk to our book agent again. I think it might be time. Might be time to get some of these stories on paper.
Studio smelled like bubblegum and homework.
Smells like homework.
Oh, it was wonderful.
One of my favorite stories is when we told Ken Stevens he couldn't quit as our boss.
Oh, yeah.
Were you guys there for that one?
Yeah, I do remember that.
We were having, more problems with Howard, and Howard was getting up Ken's ass, and, unfortunately Ken had no ground to stand on because Mel Karmazin and Howard are kiss buddies. And we had another problem, and we were totally in the right, and Ken was fighting for us, but then he couldn't take it anymore because he was getting threatened. And he comes running in, and he has his bags packed, and he says he quits for a fact.
Yeah.
No joke. Because, he was running 3 radio stations, so he was living out of a suitcase. So he had his suitcase of clothes in one hand and his briefcase with all his important documents, and he was quitting. He had his coat on and everything, and he was red in the face, yelling and screaming at us, going, "I quit as your boss."
I've had it.
So Ann and I had to yell and scream at him and tell him he can't quit as our boss and get back in there and be our boss. It was the weirdest. It was the weirdest fucking surreal moment ever. Telling your big boss he can't quit as your boss.
Fez was just on a train with Ken not too long ago.
Really? How is he doing, man?
Yeah,
he looks so healthy now. He really looks great.
Yeah, I had a steak dinner down there in D.C. with him not recently. Now this is about a year or two ago, and he looked great.
Yeah, I saw him a few weeks ago. Yeah, a lot of weight. He's all tan and healthy looking. And
he looks at least 10 years younger, man.
He's on a boat all the time, right?
Yeah, I said, "What are you doing now, Ken?" And he goes, "I have a boat." And that was it.
See, I thought he hated us because we ended up getting him fired, but he had so much equity in the company and stock and all that crap that he never had to work. He called me a good year into his firing and said, "Have I ever told you I love you?" And I'm like, "What? What the fuck?" Because this guy never showed any, he was all business, and he's like, "If you guys didn't fuck up, I wouldn't have this great life I now have with my son and boating around, Chesapeake Bay."
Right, he's in Chesapeake Bay all the time.
He was one of Mel's guys early on, so he had those stock options from, General Electric or something. Before it was bought and sold 800 times, the radio station.
He wasn't lucky to get the Citadel stock offering.
Oh, thank God for Fareed.
He got the real deal, man.
Well, we're set.
That's right.
We got in on the IPO for Citadel Broadcasting.
You know how that is, Ron.
A couple of years back. You know an IPO. Yeah. Initial public offering. We got in at $19
That's right,
a share.
Anthony,
$19 a share, ground floor, thanks to Fareed, who heads up that outfit over there.
Hold on. Before he tells what the price is today, I'm going to admit something today. Ooh. I bought $100,000 of this stock.
You wasted 3 days' salary on that shit?
100.
Yeah.
I pretty much emptied my bank account at the time because I thought it was a guarantee.
It's going up.
Well, I got in at 19. Anthony got in at 19. Today, it's doing great.
Where is it?
$13.15.
$13.50, and we got in before the public could even get in.
That's right, Ron.
Let me tell you that.
Nice.
If you could, Mr. Stock Researcher there, could you tell us the last time it was at about 19?
You're going to have to hit that year thing.
Yeah. Hit the 1 year thing under the chart. Hope he knows exactly how to do it. Just basically when it was around the...
Well, Anthony, it was just over 16 back in December 04.
Oh, good.
So we got to go further back. I guess you got to hit the 2 year.
Yeah, because I think it was 19 when we bought it.
All right.
It has just plummeted.
Yeah, basically when we bought it, it went up to 21 for a couple of days.
Look at us, greedy. We didn't want to punch out, right?
Then it went up to 23 back in January 04. Okay, January 04. And the last time it was at 19 was probably the first week in January 04.
Great.
Yeah.
And we're in...
You had a nice new year.
05 here. Yeah, this is
05.
Wonderful.
It's almost 06 at this point.
And this thing is just floundering. Thanks, Fareed. Good job.
Stupid Fareed's getting a divorce. He's hanging out with a girl that's like 30 years younger than him. He doesn't even... He's out of his mind. He's not running the radio company anymore.
He's doing the right thing, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Considering he's 40.
It's teen.
He knows when to get out.
Pre-teen.
Jesus. But there you have it. Ken Stevens quitting on us. That was classic. All right. Well, golden tickets. We could talk about Lex and Terry, a radio show that's very bitter because we've already told them they will not be receiving one of these fine golden tickets, Anthony. Ron and Fez, of course, the recipients of the first golden ticket. They start up on 202 on Monday. I'm hearing reports we're in Stuff Magazine or something. A tiny little thing. What is this? Oh, the Arthur Chan thing made Stuff Magazine? What is this about? Wanker Man. They have a nose for news and a mouth for the toilet. Arthur Chan, WCBS, New York City. When guys with an Opie and Anthony sign sneaked on camera, he yelled, "What the fuck is your problem?" and was promptly fired.
Man.
Oh, I guess it's just anchors acting up. Okay. That's a little hit for us in the latest Stuff Magazine, I guess.
Has he ever talked to you guys? Has he come by or anything?
No.
No. He just got a new gig.
Where is he?
Over there at the WB11 here in New York.
Yeah.
CBS News, WB11 News.
Same thing.
Yeah, it's what they call a lateral move in the business.
Probably the same amount of money, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure.
Maybe we could extend the party at BB King's tomorrow to welcome Arthur to WB11.
WB11 News.
BB King's? What's that about? Oh.
That's the meet and greet.
Oh, really?
Tomorrow.
And then farewell to Jimmy.
Oh, yeah.
Farewell and good luck.
Right. So, ladies, bring your mouths.
And open bar, free booze.
What time is that at, guys?
Starts at 5:30. Free beer. And I'll outdrink anyone that shows up.
So
that's a guarantee.
We're doing the Ron and Fez thing tomorrow and then the Brian Regan tomorrow night, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
We're going to, out front of the club, we're going to tie all of Jimmy's luggage to the big Cadillac. And we're going to go down the road and sing, California, here I come, right back where I started from. Ethel in the back.
Where are you staying out there, Jimmy?
I had to rent an apartment.
Whoa!
For 5 months only.
5-month rental. That's got to be a great place.
No, it's 6 blocks in the Improv, West Hollywood, because that's where we're shooting.
West Hollywood.
Exactly.
Oh.
I don't know how far from Santa Monica, a.k.a. Tranny Alley.
Eddie Murphy's suite overlooking.
Anthony.
At the corner of Danny Bonaducci Road.
Crying Game Avenue.
Danny's doing another reality show about his problems.
Sex addiction.
Yeah.
Breaking Bonaducci.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, and I think he broke.
Yeah.
He's done. Going back to the Arthur Chan thing.
Yeah. Yes.
The eBay auction for the victims of Hurricane Katrina, the Opie and Anthony auction is doing very well. There's a link through opieandanthony.com. The Arthur Chan sign that Nathaniel was all about, right? Mm-hmm. It was in third place. It's now in second place.
Oh, come on. People are pumping it up now.
Second place, $735 for the Opie and Anthony Assault on the Media sign that got Arthur Chien fired, signed by our own Nathaniel. And the skates are still in first place with a bid of $5,050.
Any items on there from Take No Chances, Travis?
No, of course not. No, of course not.
Collared shirt never worn. Douchebag.
Now, how are the Ozzy pictures inside the 2x4s?
Come on now.
The collection.
That's part of the second stage. A bunch of new items going up tomorrow.
Can I say something on the cover of Daily News?
Yeah, go.
Hearts of Gold. Dear Daily News, I'm donating $1. I'm 8. I'm donating $1. I'm 7. These fucking kids are disgraceful and cheap. $1's dog shit, kid.
Like, who's that going to help?
That pulls at our heartstrings.
It does. It makes me nauseous.
You know what it is? The dollar
makes us all
thing.
Feel good.
It's never gone up over the years.
Right.
Because even as a kid, for, Save the Starving Children of Bangladesh, it was $1 as a kid. Why hasn't this gone up over the years with the cost of living?
Especially with, digital cameras on the internet. Come on, kid, you can make a few dollars for the cause.
How are these kids earning singles?
Put on those comfies for Pete's sakes.
Can you still buy a joint for $1?
I have no idea what
a joint went for $1 for years.
A loose joint.
Never
you never even
increased.
hear the term loose joints.
No.
You don't even, when you go to a concert, you don't see people smoking pot anymore.
Nope.
It used to be just the whole place would stink like pot.
And then you'd pass it to the guy you didn't even know.
Right.
And it was always $1 for a joint. And then they got to, I kind of remember them breaking up. It was like they were selling a joint worth of pot. But since it's in the plastic bag, now they can sell it for $5.
Right.
It's like a nickel bag of some real good shit. Meanwhile, it's just a joint without the paper. Now I got to work.
That is a good point, though, that people, and I'm sure no one young remembers passing a joint to a stranger at a concert because we could get an ounce for like $25.
4-finger lid.
Yeah, right. That was your way of measuring it. After it started to go up to a couple $100, you're like, fuck you, hippie.
Right.
Get your own pot. You touch my joint, I'll kill you.
Keep your wine sack.
I'll fucking kill you.
I don't care. I'm smoking pot here.
That big hot wine sack.
I tried recently. I'm like, anybody got a Mary Jane for sale?
Oh, that'll work.
Some reefers?
That's passing you wine in a lamb's stomach. That's what I want. Great.
Before the Allman Brothers come out.
Keep it, hippie.
All right, we got the Lex and Terry thing. This is going to piss off, I think, Norton more than anybody.
I'm sure
here.
it won't. Yeah. These guys are terrific from Florida.
Well, we're giving out the golden tickets. Ron and Fez, of course, starting up on the channel on Monday. And we got 4 more tickets we're going to attempt to give away in the coming months, hopefully. And we've already said no to Lex and Terry. They're a one-market sensation. There's a bunch of these guys around America. They do very well in one market, but as far as doing a national broadcast, they don't have what it takes, and that's a fact.
Right.
What market are they in?
Jacksonville, I think.
Jacksonville's their big market. They've got some other ones, but that's their big
market. And then they
Yeah.
syndicate to a couple of smaller ones, and that's about it. And that's it. And the radio is made up of a bunch of these one-market sensations, we like to call them. They do very well for their hometown. That's great. But they can't. They don't have what it takes to do the whole country.
Almost like a force of habit. You tune in to them.
And we've already rejected them. They're on the fucko list with many other radio shows.
Not about the fucko list.
The good old fucko list.
You're not on our golden ticket list.
You guys want
fucko?
You want to officially throw a show on the fucko list?
I don't even know if I have any. I guess I would just say Bill O'Reilly is on the fucko list for me.
Well, he does radio, so there you go. Bill O'Reilly has been added to the fucko list.
Hey, where's Earl, by the way?
Earl was sleeping in. The last I heard.
Where does he live? Fucking the Hamptons? How long does it take to get here? Get up, put on your black clothing, and come.
He is just in a panic.
Where is he?
An absolute panic. Look at Ben.
Earl is a man with justifiably low self-esteem.
Yeah.
It's like you should hate yourself, and you do. It all works out in the end.
He's riding in on old Paint, his old horse. Pulling the junk wagon that he's selling pants off.
You know, we got to play patches now. That's
Selling honey.
Get that damn song.
Right now, Red is breaking his honey jars. Sorry, Earl.
Tuma. We got to play the Earl song now, damn it.
Yeah.
I hate when that happens.
I love this song.
Eric, get it quickly with your child shorts.
So we got a sample of the comedic stylings of Lex and Terry, and
Shut your goddamn pie hole!
And their fine radio show down there in Jacksonville.
I'm sure it's a Zoo Crew hoot.
I don't know. This is pretty boring, actually, but I guess we'll just go with it. Here's Lex and Terry from yesterday.
I thought of a new bit for the show yesterday. It's called Who Ripped Lex and Terry Off? It can only be two answers, though. That's the problem I'm having with this game. It could either be the regular guys or Opie and Anthony.
That seems to be the biggest culprits.
Those are. Can we play it next?
The biggest culprit.
Can I tell you something?
Because we have time to go listen to a radio show that's out of Jacksonville.
I've never heard your fucking audio. No one here has listened to you.
I've never heard their show.
How has anybody in this fucking room heard your audio, you dog shit Florida morning show? Nobody knows what you do.
I've never heard of them, ever.
Nobody knows what you do. We've never listened to you.
Radio is filled with these assholes.
Fucking hacks.
These fucking assholes.
Little local fucking hacks. What is it, a fart game? Whoops.
Fritz.
Those are. Can we play it next? If you want to play, and you just got to guess, we'll name a few of our regular things that we've done on this show in the past and continue to do, and you just have to guess whether it's Opie and Anthony or the regular
or the regular guys.
And you don't even know who they are. I mean, we don't get a lot of people that know who Opie and Anthony are.
That's just flat out lying.
Two fucking phony-voiced jerk-offs lying to their audience.
That is just a flat-out lie. Like us or hate us, I think we kind of made a name for ourselves with our antics.
Our fucking radio voices.
I think people know who we are.
Bert from Philly, quickly, just want to say, Earl is so tired and so black.
That's so true.
We're finding the Earl song. We'll play that next.
People that know who Opie and Anthony are. Not a lot of people know.
No.
And the people in Georgia kind of know who the regular guys know, and they know who they rip us off.
Sure.
All the time. But just trust us on this one.
And you can play.
We got one email yesterday, and that kind of speaks volumes that we got one email from somebody who said that the Opie and Anthony guys were doing something we've done many, many times on the show yesterday.
Yeah.
One email. It's one person.
So,
but we'll play the game. If you want to play, call us at 1-800-977-DO-US.
Ew. 977-DO-US? Oh, I get it. You guys are nuts. Do us, as in the F word. LOL. Regular radio faggots. Oh, do us. Tee-hee-hee. Oh, these guys are wacky. How edgy.
They're going to go with that old gag that no one knows who we are as they say our names a million times and prove that we got under their skin.
Oh.
All right, well, you guys want to hear the actual game?
Can you play the phone number again just so I can have a good laugh? God, that's hilarious. And easy to remember.
One email. It's one person.
So,
but we'll play the game. If you want to play, call us at 1-800-977-DO-US.
How about 1-877 phony voice cunts? Was that number taken?
A little long.
Yeah, it is. You're right. That's probably international. 1-877-DO-US.
DO-US.
Yeah.
Ugh. All right, here's the actual game. It's very, very riveting.
This is a thing that we're going to be calling Who Ripped Us Off, okay? Today's contestants, you can only choose from two people, so you got a 50-50 shot, and it doesn't matter if you've heard of these shows or not, which chances are you probably haven't. But
make sure you keep stressing that point there, sir.
That's right.
Of course.
But the shows, your choices will either be Opie and Anthony or the regular guys, okay?
Two of our biggest perpetrators.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Honking the horn at people.
Huh? What does that mean?
I think fucking Henry Ford ripped you off in 1917, you fucking cunt.
Honking the horn? Oh. What is honking the horn at people?
No one does. Who does that? Meep, meep, wave. Oh, Lex and Terry. Who fucking does that and thinks it's funny? Beep, beep.
Can't understand why these guys are one market sensation. This is great stuff.
Oh, they're beeping all over Jacksonville.
What is
us.
What is honking the horn at people?
I don't know what that is.
Okay, here we go. Honking the horn at people. Like we do Kim. Who stole that? The regular guys or Opie and Anthony? Go ahead, Mike.
Opie and Anthony.
Okay, what do you say, Kelly?
Opie and Anthony.
All right, what about you, Ryan?
I'm going to have to say Opie and Anthony.
Okay. Andrew?
I want to Opie and Anthony.
All right, Chris?
Anthony.
O&A.
Donald?
Opie.
Evan?
But not Anthony?
What's that, Evan?
O&A.
And Gator?
Opie and Anthony.
You are all correct.
Oh, man, that's awesome.
That's really good. All right.
We honk the horn at people.
Who are you honking at?
I don't know.
What does that mean?
We stole a bit where we honked the horn at people from these guys.
And since the listeners don't know you, how they come up with this O&A? Is this they're just suddenly
Yeah, I know.
Hey, I've decided to shorten it a little bit.
Right. Yeah.
Even though I've never heard this term before.
I got a great idea. O&A. O&A. And he just said it like O&A.
Whatever. Can I have the tickets?
It's brilliant radio, though, man. You string a bunch of calls together that say Opie and Anthony.
You can actually hear our show in the background
right.
from that guy's call.
What bit is that you beep the horn at people? I don't understand what that means.
I have no idea.
What do you do afterwards, after you beep the horn?
I don't know.
In Jacksonville, you get the cow off the track.
See, the bit we have, the bit you have is beeping the horn. The bit we have is to stand in a crosswalk when the light is green. So the bits kind of go hand in hand, you boring douchebags.
I have no idea. Next time I'm in Jacksonville listening to their show to rip them off, I'll try to get to the bottom of that one.
All right.
That is awesome.
All
you
right.
guys are just dialed in.
Flash a Trucker Day, something we've been doing for years and years. Who ripped that off? Mike?
Let's go with the regular guys.
Okay, what do you say, Kelly?
Regular guy.
Ryan?
Regular guys.
All right, Andrew?
Regular guys.
Chris?
Opie and Anthony. Yeah, it was fun to.
All right, Donald?
Gotta go with Opie.
All right, what do you say, Evan?
I'm going with O&A.
All right, what about you, Gator?
Opie and Anthony.
The correct answer is Opie and Anthony. They just try to do it like on a Wednesday, and at least they put their own little they tried to put their own little spin on it or something.
Didn't rip it off all the way, but enough to where it made the game. Mike, Kelly, Ryan, and Andrew.
No one has ever heard of Flash a Trucker Day.
Flash a Trucker.
But many articles have been written about Whip 'em Out Wednesday. Fucking assholes.
If these are their bits, they need better names.
Yeah.
Honk horn at people. Flash a trucker.
Yeah,
trucker.
Yeah,
Any catchier names.
How do you get that on a bumper sticker?
I just want to have 8 more
losers.
people play the game. Shelley, Bob, Hank, Daryl. Just going on and on.
I don't know how you get how do you stop laughing when you're dialing that phone number? Do us. These two are incorrigible. Who made that up? Is it Lex or Terry? That doesn't matter. It's a laugh riot. Phony voices. Yeah, 1-877 do us. Fucking cowards. Can't even talk in your own voices. You fuck your wife with that voice? I'm gonna come now, honey. You sickening fraud. Oh, that makes me sick. That radio voice dog shit makes me sick.
And I don't think we have to defend ourselves as far as Whip 'em Out Wednesday goes. Jesus.
Sorry.
Our last one. This is another game that we've been playing for quite a while. As you know, that over the years we've taped ourselves pretty much farting on the radio, and we had a thing, we did a thing many times of who did that.
Right.
Who farted. Mike, who would you say ripped that off? Either Opie and Anthony or the regular guys?
Let me guess.
Go with the regular guys.
All right, Kelly?
Regular guy.
All right. What do you say there,
Greg and
Ryan?
Tony.
Regular guys.
All right. What do you say, Andrew?
Regulars.
All right. What do you say, Chris?
Regular schmoes.
All right. What do you say, Donald?
Regular guys.
Evan?
The regular guys.
Or Gator?
Regular guys.
No, the correct answer is Opie and Anthony. In fact, that's why we got the one email yesterday. That was their new bit that they came up with yesterday, like guessing who farted. They were being so wacky about it and going, oh, we're so crazy.
We're so creative.
We've been doing that for years. That's interesting, huh?
And from what I understand, if you did not win your Public Enemy CD, Opie and Anthony and the regular guys will be giving those away starting tomorrow.
All right.
I get it.
I know I said we're crazy like 3 or 4 times during that, but we're crazy. Oh, and they were doing it saying, oh, we're crazy.
Are they trying to claim that like no one has ever farted on the radio?
That actually started with Gassy McGee back at WABC back in the 30s. He didn't mean to.
I think he's going into the Broadcasters Hall of Fame next year.
Was that his name before or after he started doing that? Because what a coincidence.
His parents named him Gassy McGee.
Gassy McGee.
And oddly enough.
You know, when this edgy radio thing started, it had to start somewhere. I believe the first edgy bit had to be someone just farting into a microphone.
And then laughing.
I mean, what came before that if you're going to start doing edgy radio?
Well, we're here in Lakehurst, New Jersey, watching the Hindenburg arrive. It's a wonderful sight, this huge vessel making its way across the Atlantic Ocean. Here it is, the ground crews are grabbing... Oh, no! It's caught fire! It's going... Get out of the way! Oh, the humanity!
See, dickheads, that's how you do radio.
Yeah, that's the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life. Such a mark. I'm just marking out like a kid over here. Just jumping up and down.
See, if you could improv like that, you wouldn't be just in one stupid market. You fucking zeros. Jesus.
And you think every time I don't get up and stick my dumb ass on a microphone and fart, do you really think I think it's genius? It's fucking 13-year-old nonsense. It's drivel, and I know it's dreck. It's just funny because farting is always funny.
Right. Edgy radio started with farting. There was nothing before that.
No.
And it was, it was pee and post farting. It was really as the radio started.
It was 2 for Tuesday and then farting on the radio. There was nothing in between there.
But just to imply that like, fucking, we're listening to that awful radio show. Where do you live? Honest to God, where do you listen to the Lex and Terry show? I mean, you can get it online. I've never done it.
That's the most insulting thing. Not the fact that they're accusing anybody of ripping things off. The fact that they actually think we have heard their show insults me.
Would you listen to anybody's show, though? Isn't it terrible once you start working in radio? It's just like the last thing you want to do.
Guys,
listen.
Absolutely.
I do have to apologize because we try to keep things honest on this show. They are syndicated. They're syndicated to Moscow, Idaho. So they're not a one-market sensation.
All right.
They have a few affiliates.
Moscow, Idaho.
Which is actually gloomier than the real Moscow.
Idaho.
What market number is that? Is there a comma in it? Fucking nobody's. Jacksonville and Moscow. You should shoot yourselves in the fucking head. Your phony voices. Everybody stand back.
They're on in a bunch of little... they're on a college station?
No, they're not.
That's a joke, right?
That's got to be a goof.
Huh?
That's the name of the town.
All right.
The name of the
College Station, Texas.
Wow, we were syndicated to places like Boston, Philadelphia, Washington, D.C.
Don't forget the Big Apple, Ope.
That's bigger than anything they'll ever do. But they are syndicated to a place called College Station, Texas.
Opie.
Where Texas A&M is.
Yes.
It says on the website that the Lex and Terry show started in 1997. Is that true?
I don't know.
It couldn't be.
Hasn't the O&A show been around longer than that? When were you guys doing WOW?
We did WOW pretty much our first year in Boston, so that's like 95, 96.
Don't we sound all silly, though? Hey, we did. Now I got dates confirming.
We don't need to defend
and
ourselves.
I testify here.
But just to imply that you ripped off farting, it's like, what? Who's fucking heard your show?
That's interesting.
I want to play this again because the Hole finally had something to say.
Who?
Oh, there's a Hole on that show?
We talk about the Hole that has to be part of every morning show.
Oh.
She was very quiet until the end. Actually, I don't even think she says anything.
The old fish cutlet.
Do they really have a broad in that fucking studio?
They got a Hole.
Keep it honest to the ladies,
right.
listen.
They got a Hole. Listen.
Thing, huh?
And from what I
Listen
understand,
closely.
if you did not win your Public Enemy CD, Opie and Anthony and the regular guys will be giving those away starting tomorrow.
I'm sure they will. All right.
There you go. There's the Hole.
There's her contribution. Force a laugh just to let the ladies know it's okay to chuckle at the boy humor. You fucking twat. You fucking token.
So...
She's there to balance it, because it would just be a boys' club.
Scold the naughty boys.
Oh, guys, now.
Come on now. Back me up, ladies. Here's what she should be doing. You should hear this. Every fucking morning she has a woman, you should hear this. And that should be her head fucking bouncing up and hitting the console as she sucks the dicks of the men who talk. That's what you should do, stupid. Open your mouth and swallow your paycheck. Lex and Terry like to have a gal in there to keep it honest for the ladies.
Yeah.
Hey, I just want to point out,
fucking faggots.
I want to point out we got somebody behind the board who's making things happen for us. It's Black Earl.
Wow. Earl
in-
is sitting behind the... You're going to have to put a little more light in that room because I didn't even know he was there. I just thought Derek had gotten up and left.
Looks like the opening to Scooby-Doo.
It's just an empty seat.
So there you go. Lex and Terry having fun. It was boring radio. It's Who Cares Radio. That's not going to get the job done, fellas.
No golden ticket.
No golden ticket, once again. And, what? Oh, Earl's song is in too? Okay. Yeah, by the way, yeah, guys, attack and have fun. Enjoy yourselves.
Wait, what's the number again?
Enjoy yourself.
And just hold on. Let me see if I can get this out without laughing. Is it 1-877? Is it Do Us? Because Do Us is kind of like innocent. You can kind of say that on the radio. The moms will hear, but it won't get anybody really offended.
Right.
Do Us.
Do you need an area code?
I guess it would be 877. I'm not sure. Is it?
You need more numbers. Then you need more numbers.
See, when you're a one-market sensation, you don't need an area code.
It's the prefix.
Oh, I'm giving you 877 Do Us. That's right. That's not enough numbers.
Area code would be 877. What you're lacking is the three-number prefix.
I listen to that show all the time, too. How can I forget that?
Yeah.
What is it, Than?
I'm looking.
Please.
867-5305, I think is what it is.
Oh.
Wait, that's Jenny's number. I'm sorry. I get so I get so fucking confused.
Wait. Lex and Terry. Sorry, my colon is ripping you guys off. Guess who did that? Oh, it's 1-8. Is it 800? Yeah. Oh, thanks. I've been fucking up. 1-800. 977.
Is it really?
Say it.
Is it really 977?
1-800-977 Do Us. Those guys like to get laid, I bet.
Show them that we only got one listener that wrote in.
Yeah.
All right.
977 Do Us.
Hey, Earl, what's going on in there? That's you, Earl.
Of course.
Earl, how's it going?
Here's your main man, Ron Fez.
I'm all right.
Are you confident?
You know that sound.
Earl, are you confident in your producer abilities for the Ron and Fez show starting up Monday?
I'm ready.
You're ready?
Very.
What do you got planned for the first show?
I'm going to let the guys do their thing, as always.
That's cool. I like the way he masks confidence by sounding like it's abject terror.
Yeah. I'm just going to let the guys do their thing. All right, what about the second show?
Yeah.
First show should be just the guys.
The first show is going to be a
no-brainer.
no-brainer. You know, the first time they're on, they're going to have that excitement.
A lot of phone calls
that
from
adrenaline.
listeners, things like that.
Yeah.
But now, what do you got planned for the second show?
We got to talk with the guys about that.
Wow. Doesn't he sound exactly the way that the day he wouldn't ski? Remember?
Yes.
Well, half the battle is coming into that bright, smiling face, that up attitude.
That is true.
All right, so you're going to talk about the second show with the guys.
Yeah,
of course.
Oh, jeez.
And then I guess any subsequent show is also up for a discussion.
Of course.
Any long-term plans, big ideas that might be brought in?
Good question, Anthony.
Usual guests and games and all that
Guests
fun stuff.
and games.
We're going to honk the horn at some people.
Ron and Fez enjoy a good game from time to time. What game?
Sure.
What's the first game
Any
you think
good
that you
games,
could play?
Earl?
I can't think of any off the top of my head. I don't have anything in front of me.
I feel like I'm on a train and I just saw the engineer have a heart attack and fall off.
And here comes Scatman Crothers, our purser.
Hey. The purser.
This
Earl,
is
we're
so
all
weird.
rooting for you. We're all rooting for you.
And I won't let you down.
I feel like I am back at WNEW. I really do. This is the same. We've had these conversations.
Again, let me say this. Thanks, Opie.
You know, I was thinking the same thing. The only good thing about this is the more mistakes he makes, Fez and I get to give Opie that look. Right?
Yeah.
Opie.
Earl, you
Opie's
can't let me
idea.
down, bro.
No, I won't.
He's got guests and games.
All right.
Yeah. You know what happens in the mob when you vouch for somebody and they don't come across?
Hey, Earl, every
package deal.
He's lazy Brosco.
Earl, every good producer has a Rolodex. How's your Rolodex coming along?
Mine is fine.
He's got Satchel Paige on there, which is...
What are some of the names in the Rolodex?
Wow.
Live in color.
These are the go-to numbers, you know. Ben's got a nice one in the back office there.
Yeah.
I got to get my Palm Pilot.
They're all in Colombia, though, unfortunately.
You got to get your what?
My Palm Pilot.
Why don't you grab it?
You don't know one go-to number off the top of your head.
Top of my head, Lisa Robinson.
Ooh.
There you go.
Who's Lisa Robinson?
Jackie's daughter.
At that time, my father broke the color barrier.
And then he hit Mama, and he hit me.
All right, you may step down, Lisa.
All right, Lisa Robinson, she's a, what?
Music journalist.
Music journalist. So when you have him one of those slow shows, he'll call Lisa Robinson for you.
Who else?
That's good. Mine's a little fuzzy right now. I can't think off the top of my head.
Little fuzzy? You can't think of two names?
Not like you have to think on your feet in radio.
No, you got all the little eyes on me like that.
How tired are you when all you can think of is one name?
And to be quite honest, it is satellite radio.
Right.
So, you know, it's not like he's really got to be on the ball. We're all just kind of walking around here like zombies anyway, right?
Yeah. New York, Boston, Florida, Los Angeles, Texas, Chicago.
It's just every market.
Seattle, New Mexico, Phoenix.
I know I'm not much of a talker, but I'm ready.
I know, Bojangles. We're with you the whole way.
Right.
He's upset his dog up and died.
He's gonna walk in one day. Is anybody home? And Ron's gonna bury an axe in his chest.
We'll be just having some awful show, and we'll look over there, and there he is just dancing. Would you stop it? Would you stop it all? We're tubing over here. We are pulling for you.
Earl,
Do you like
material, Ron?
We got guests.
What kind of daily prep are you going to do for the show? That's very key.
Yeah.
To a radio show.
Whatever's going on. News, entertainment, sports.
All right.
Just general.
And how are you going to get that?
Variety of places. You know, websites.
We're going to broadcast
papers.
through the microphones. It'll come out people's speakers.
Yes.
Just kind of leave it vague.
I'm not saying much, but I'll be ready.
But Ron and Fez, you know, they have their unique spin. I mean, how are you going to help them with that?
That spin will be there.
How?
Ron and Fez do it.
Yeah.
Earl's hoping for Afro shows for the first year.
Right.
No, I'll be ready. I am ready.
He is ready.
He acts like we just pulled him over. This should be the happiest time of his life. I'm here visiting a friend.
Step out of the production room, please.
You know how slow you were going?
Oh, there you go, Ron and Fez. There's your
thank you.
There's your executive producer, Black Earl. Wow. We got the Black Earl song. Would you guys like to hear it?
Yeah, this to me, you know what the weird thing about this song, and most parody songs stink, but this tells a story.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Of really all of us and what happened at NEW through the eyes of Black Earl. That's
Earl.
You take a minor character and then you tell a major story.
Right.
Earl, how long were you at WNEW?
He saw Lincoln come by, if that means anything.
For the radio debates with Stephen Douglas.
Wow. Go ahead.
Be 16 years.
16 years.
What was your biggest accomplishment over there?
Huh.
What'd you say?
I'd say that picture he hung
Which would
up.
translate into only.
What? I'm not kissing ass, but working with you guys was definitely a highlight.
That's great.
Wow.
But what did you do for us?
What? Be a pincushion for what? 4 years?
Right.
And that's your biggest accomplishment.
Sticker stops, Opie.
Sticker stops.
Remember how many times he'd call up Lost on his way to sticker stops?
And let's not forget What You Want on This Wall.
What You Want on This Wall
Was a classic Earl moment.
That's right. We had him. We needed him to hang a picture up on the wall in the lobby, and it took all day.
Dude, I remember one time I was there, and I was looking for somebody. And I'm like, hey, Earl, where is whoever it was? And you go, right down there in the office, and damned if he wasn't there.
There you go. That's
right
something.
where Earl said he'd be.
He helped you out.
Our biggest disappointment, Ronnie pointed out, we tried to get Earl to ski, and he would not do that.
Yeah.
No.
But maybe my favorite thing he's ever done is just lock in at the top of a mountain and not move.
He refused to ski down a hill.
And then what did you break that day, Earl? Was it a microphone, a $50,000 microphone or something?
What didn't I break? I broke a microphone when I tried to throw it at Ben. I smashed a telephone in the production studio.
Yeah, you were angry.
Yeah, why the anger?
I was so angry I couldn't even remember.
Days of Rage.
Of course.
Yeah.
The Days of Rage.
All right.
And I got to stand corrected, by the way. I remember who I was looking for. I was looking for a program director, and Earl said he'll be in the ladies' room. And damned if he wasn't.
Wow. He will not let it go, Ron. I don't know what to tell you.
I'd be happy to help with your raise. As soon as I'm finished shaming Mother. Compartmentalize everything. Just pretend childhood never happened.
Well, yeah, Jimmy had a little problem at the end of our NEW days.
Little problem. How many thousands did you lose?
50 G.
50 grand because he didn't put in the paperwork. Everything was signed, sealed, delivered. All Jeremy had to do was put in the paperwork. 50 grand for Jimmy.
Nah, no big deal. Semen under the bridge.
Wow. All right, well.
Earl, are you coming to BB King's?
Of course.
BB King's, what's that about?
That's going to be this Friday. Tomorrow, starting at 5:30, free beer. Welcome Ron and Fez back to New York.
Everybody's going to be there. Opie's coming out. Anthony, Jimmy Norton. And now we understand Black Earl. And will you be doing the song, Earl? Would you be good enough to sing the song?
Probably not.
That'd be good.
How about just lip sync the song?
How about a little soft shoe?
Oh, boy.
No.
Come out on the stage at BB King's, rub the log. Guys, the Sandman don't give you the hook.
I got a short list of replacements. Don't worry about it.
Oh.
We got this covered. All right, here's the
Who's
Black...
next? Son of Sam? What are you doing to us, Opie? What are you doing?
Wouldn't you have to start first before you get replaced?
Hey, Brian Regan outside the studio. So why don't we play the Black Earl song? We'll take a break, and we'll add Brian Regan to the party.
Hi, Ben.
I was born and raised in a housing project way up in the hood. I dressed in dark clothing, so folks started calling me Black Earl. Oh, and they used to laugh about it, 'cause deep down they knew they called me that 'cause I was as black as soot. I've always been a lazy man, a couch potato with a clicker in my hand. See, motivation I never had, hid in the shadows when the boss got mad. For 20 years I never got a raise. I'm 33 and I never been late. I look busy but I'm not, I'm just walking around. I pick up some papers and I put them back down. One day I'm gonna stop paying my rent, live in a refrigerator box, never get out of bed. I'm Black Earl, a genuine lazy bum. I'll always make it through hard times at NEW. Then one day some lame brains came and took O&A away. And at the age of 33, I felt like I was carrying the weight of the whole station on my shoulders. And Ron and Fezzy knew what I was going through. Every morning I'd unlock the door, lay down and I'd sleep a little more. Then I put away the bathroom key. Everybody was depending on me. I eat a chicken wing with lemonade. Lord, give me strength to make another day. The times I felt I couldn't go on. Push a button, throw a switch, answer the phone. Got lost in the van, I did my PSAs. 10 minutes work, gonna take me all day. I'm Black Earl, a genuine lazy bum. I'll always make it through hard times at NEW. I could hear Scotzo say, Black Earl, you're a genuine lazy bum. You'll always make it through hard times at NEW. Ken and Jeremy say, Black Earl, you're a genuine lazy bum.
Like sand through the hourglass, so is the O&A virus.
Oh, what's up, Poe?
Hey, guys, I don't mean to interrupt you. I wasn't drunk. You can't get drunk over coffee, orange juice, eggs, bacon.
I didn't say you were drunk. Who said drunk? Eric said you were drunk. Eric, I would never accuse Master Poe of being drunk when he was in the street. Sounded like a complete asshole.
O&A party rock! O&A party rock!
That is a great clip.
Yeah, okay.
What the hell is O&A party rock?
All right, well, fine. I was enjoying myself. I was told to go down and hand out stickers and have a good time.
High on life, not alcohol.
Yeah, he didn't hear the clip because he can have his headphones on.
Yeah, I know.
That's a good one.
But you know what I noticed?
You got to admit, it sounds a little,
okay,
a little, you know.
4 days. 4 days. I lost my voice and I couldn't really talk. And I was told to go down, hand out stickers. Club Soda Kenny told me to go down, hand out stickers, and have a good time. And that's exactly what I did.
Party rock!
Yeah, I know.
I don't know what O&A Party Rock means.
All right, well, whatever. I do notice that...
we did all acknowledge how you did a great job down there, though. You
thank
handed out thousands and thousands of WOW stickers for us.
Thank you.
And cups and all, but he was getting on this microphone that another club had in the middle of thousands of people on the street, and this is what he was coming up with.
O&A Party Rock!
No, come on.
An attention getter.
That's the only thing. That's not the only thing I say.
All right, so you want to go on record and say that when you did this,
O&A Party Rock!
you weren't drunk.
No, I wasn't drunk.
That clip gets funnier and funnier, man.
All right, very good.
All
Thank you,
right,
Master Paul. So you left here yesterday, and what happened?
Traffic. Were you doing heroin with Master Poe?
No, oh, my God.
Guys, what are you doing to me? I don't take drugs. I don't do any of that stuff.
That's a little play on the last
Yeah,
joke.
no,
it was kind of a sarcastic statement about Eric's
Paul,
exaggeration.
There was a lot of
understand.
sarcasm in that statement.
Yes.
Okay.
About Eric. You point to Eric, Jimmy. You try to pawn it off on Eric. There's a little play on what Eric said. Remember when he called you drunk?
I know, Poe's only kidding. He just does so much coke in the morning. He comes in and he gets all right.
Well, according to Eric. According to Eric.
Oh, my God, you are dead. You're a dead man.
Eric, tell everyone what you were telling us in the office.
Yeah, what
where you saw him in the stall.
Doing what?
Bent over the stall, doing something. No?
Oh, boy.
He doesn't want to share on the air, Anthony.
You're asking for it.
He's scared for his life. I don't blame him, you know.
Neither do I.
Opie and Anthony, the virus is spreading.
On! Thank you. You gotta turn us on. Oh, forget it.
What, Earl?
Earl's going through a run-through. And
Earl's
he's now messing up our show.
He's new with the equipment.
I'm screaming, turn our mics on. All right, we're back with the Opie and Anthony program. An action-packed show today. We got Ron and Fez in the studio. They start up on 202 Monday, right after us here on the East Coast.
Welcome back to us. Welcome back to us.
Yeah, I like how you're welcoming yourselves back with a party that you're throwing yourselves. And we're welcoming ourselves back.
Peter Brady did the same thing on the Brady Bunch.
Yeah.
His new personality.
And now, look who just flew back in for our welcome back party.
Yes,
what a
yes.
surprise.
When I heard that you guys were having a welcome back party, I had to be here for it.
Thank you.
It's Brian Regan, everyone, playing
Brian,
Caroline's
hey.
all weekend long here in New York City.
Did you know about this? Were you behind this welcome back party, Brian?
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's kind of hard to keep it, under your hat.
He brought you a present, too.
Oh, yeah.
You want to give it to him now, or you want to wait?
Oh, I'm going to wait. Okay.
Sure?
I want it to be a surprise. I want to wait.
Just give it to us at the party
Okay.
tomorrow at BB King's.
Or even cash. If you don't want to lug a present around, cash would be nice.
Cash?
Why don't
Cash
you
is always
invite Brian Regan to your little get-together?
I would love to have you there, Brian.
Maybe you could go for a half hour.
It's
Yeah, I'd love
right
to.
before your thing. It's right down the street, BB King's.
Okay.
In Times Square, starting at 5:30, free beer.
Free beer.
Tonight?
No,
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Starting at 5:30.
All right. I'll go.
You like the free beer,
And then,
right?
what I want, and then right afterwards, you're where?
Right afterwards?
Yeah, right after you're performing at Caroline's. Right?
Caroline's.
So we're going to bring all the drunks to your show at Caroline's.
You know what we could do is
that's
I
nice
could
of
have
us, right?
after we party with us. I'm going to send Fez up with a cell phone, listen to you on stage. I'll be at my house and I'll hear the whole thing happen.
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
I appreciate that support.
I got to be there for you.
We all support each other. What can I tell you, Brian?
I love to throw this in during the show. Is my mic on? All of a sudden, I'm hearing myself a lot lower.
Earl's mad.
Is Earl mad?
Earl wanted to practice
that what
fucking
it
up
is?
our show by fucking up yours first.
Is it better or something? Let's turn up in there. There we go. All right.
You sound pretty good.
I hope so.
You know, we've talked about this many times on our new show, but the last time we all were together...
Oh, my goodness.
I think we should go over that again.
The last time we were all together was a contest, basically funniest man in the world.
Yeah, an enema challenge. We had our movie reviewer, Paul Lowe.
Is he going to be part of the new show?
Yeah, sure he will. Where else is he going to go?
Was this the show where everybody was reading poetry?
No.
No.
No, I think you're confused.
This had Paulo in a waiting
You were
pool.
thinking of Allen Ginsberg, which was really good, too.
Paulo was standing in a waiting pool, and he had been given an enema. And it was whoever could make Paulo expel the enema on a joke.
Shat himself.
And we all took turns.
And we'd have to go down the line.
Round-robin format.
Just throw a line out at Paulo and see who was going to make him shit out the enema.
Now, I don't think anyone really won that night, so there's no sense in going back over it.
The best part of the night was Brian Regan drinking Budweisers and telling dirty jokes.
Yeah.
We were all very shocked.
Who knew
that
he
night.
was such a racist?
Yeah.
Jokes that were coming out of his mouth that night.
You know what's hard to take ego-wise is to tell like your best joke to a guy in a pool with an enema inside him, and he does not expel it.
Yeah, that was hard.
Yeah, the guy just looks at you and goes, "No, I don't think so.
No.
Not on that. Not on that line." That's all you got?
He actually said it was pump more in. Pump more in. Then you know you're not funny. Give me another gallon.
Yeah, I can hold more. This kind of humor.
I couldn't move him. Fez couldn't move him. Anthony struck out. Brian Regan, nothing. And then here comes Opie up to the plate.
I was the long shot, that's for sure. In that room, especially, and I think it was just time for the guy to.
Hey, you
let
know,
loose. I mean, let's be honest,
that does factor in. You know, I mean,
You did what years of brand couldn't do.
I've been claiming the title for years, but let's be honest here. That it was time for the guy to go.
You took him yard. Be proud of yourself.
If Stalker Patty
biologically,
was,
at some point, he's going to have to.
Exactly.
Even if nothing's said.
We had to bring in a second pool. The levee broke.
I've actually used that over the years. That I was the funniest. No, let's be honest. The guy had to just.
Then the
expel.
and that you think we would be celebrating, but as he stood there in the baby pool, just letting loose, we all had to go running out of the room because the depths that this shit came from, like stuff from years ago,
coming up from his knees.
You want to talk about a levee breaking?
It was just hideous.
Right.
The smell is still in that room.
What? That was kind of good, no?
It was good.
Yeah.
Again.
First time. Again.
Oh, who said it?
That was a not listening moment.
You're not listening.
Did you say it?
No.
Fez did.
Oh.
I said it.
He said it, but he said it fast and really effed it up.
That's
Yours was better.
It would have made
Why
me
do you look at
expelled.
me shocked? Like, we all don't listen.
That's what
you look at me like I'm the only one that doesn't listen on this
no listening
program.
moment. We've done it. Me and Ann have done it back to back like a lion, and he'll do it.
Probably one of the worst ever. It was Jimmy let out this line. It was bad, just a bad line. Didn't get a laugh, and I'm there 2 seconds later, bam, popping it right out again. Because I'm not listening to Jimmy. I'm just trying to think of what's going to make me look good on the air.
And you know, no one steals that way. No one listens and goes, "All right, enough time has passed."
They're working on one of those, not listening games. So hopefully we'll have that on the show.
Let's just see what Lex and Terry do with it.
I hope they didn't do it.
I didn't hear the first one or the second one. That's how bad I'm
Really? Look at you.
It's your turn to say it.
I'll say it for the third time. Hey, I thought of something.
That levee sure broke that night, didn't it? But when you do a line, Brian, it's better because you crouch way down and stick your hands above your head.
You gotta fool them,
Make them feel like they're there.
You don't want them to actually listen to what you're saying, because then they're gonna catch on. You gotta have some visuals.
Let's say hi to Kevin in Boston really fast. Kevin, go ahead.
What's up, guys?
Hey.
What's up, Brian Regan? Very funny.
Hey.
First of all, I'm looking forward to hearing Ron and Fez, but more importantly, I just called the Lex and Terry show. You guys got the auction on the air, which is cool, but what they're doing, having one of the New Orleans refugees as a phone screener, is unbelievable.
Oh, he was
That's
trying
nice.
for a little joke there.
Wow, I don't know what that
That's
means.
nice.
All right, Ben's Raw Ass. Ben's Raw Ass from Whackbag, right?
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, man.
Yeah, I called Lex and Terry, man. They got some golfer answering the phone. And this guy is so mad. I mean, he must have had like 20 calls before me. All he can say is, I want to stick. He goes, I want to play a game. He goes, all right, let's stick the dick in Opie and Anthony's ass. And then he goes, either that or I'm going to stick the dick in your mama's ass. I mean, they're real original, right?
Yeah, well, that's funny. That's what he says off the air. Commercial radio faggot he is. Here, 1-800-977-DO-US. DOUS. That's the phone number.
Yeah, the
for these
attack is
jizz
on.
buckets.
We'll see how good they are at doing radio, if they're going to go with it or not.
The fucking phony radio voices.
And let our
Yuck.
listeners on their show today. All right, thanks.
I gotta go. I'm calling him back.
All right, thanks for the update. All right.
Figure here's his phone screener say it off the air.
Of course.
Jerk-offs.
See, Brian Regan just walks into a radio war.
What am I in the middle of here?
Oh, there's a little radio war going
I
on.
hate the radio war.
Doesn't know whose side to take.
It's not like the comic wars, where it's not really any problem whatsoever between you comics. You all get along perfectly,
Yeah,
don't you?
man.
Pretty much.
Stop it.
All right.
No, we all do. We're all
Bunch
happy
of
for each
whores.
other.
Yeah.
You know, I see Regan selling out Caroline's. I mean, I'm thrilled because I like when I have to go on and promote and he just shows up and it's sold. It's good.
Yeah, why are you even here? You don't have to promote anymore.
Yeah, you know.
You sell out in
for
New York
this.
like crazy.
Brian's one of those comics
love.
that plays at Caroline's and they don't have to close that curtain, closing off the section above.
He doesn't know there is a curtain.
Yeah, he doesn't know.
Hey,
what's that? A curtain?
and Voss doesn't know there's actually back seats. And the room got bigger.
Boss could reach off the stage and touch the curtain. Wow.
The thing about Brian is like he has no idea how big he is too. So he comes in and is like, what can we get for you, Mr. Regan? Oh, nothing. I'm fine.
Yeah.
I carry my own bag.
Yeah.
I'm just going to make some grilled cheese for myself on the heater here in the corner of the hotel room. Everything is okay with him.
I didn't realize you could ask for things, man. It just feels awkward asking somebody for something. Don't you think?
Yeah, it is. It's
when you could just get it yourself.
Yeah, go get me tea. It doesn't seem right.
We do it here all the time.
We got five guys. That's their whole job.
And then we bitch when they bring it here wrong.
I'll actually put my hand like this and call an intern in and say, put the water in it, boy.
I just saw you before. You looked out the door at one of the interns and mimed drinking something out of a cup. You didn't even verbalize it to this guy. You mimed drinking out of a cup, and he took off like a shot.
Well, I just like to ask for water, but I don't like to, like the voice has to be for radio. So I just point,
Save it.
and they know.
You
point, and they know.
They know. Oh, if they come back with the wrong thing, Jimmy throws it either at them or at the wall and sends them back.
In the meantime, Brian is resoling his own shoes right now as we speak.
Darning my own socks.
I'm fine. Don't worry about me. I'll sleep outside. I just want to do the show.
I showed up at a club one time. I took the bus into Savannah, Georgia, and I got there at about 7 in the morning. And then I went to I didn't want to call the manager of the club because the bus schedule had changed, and I thought it was too early in the morning. So I went to a park, and I slept on a park bench.
Stop it.
I swear that's true.
The Forrest Gump bench in Savannah.
Was that where that? Yeah, it might have been.
Yeah, it was.
I slept on a park bench till about 10, and then I thought, all right, now it's okay to call the guy,
Wow, you're too nice.
He is too nice.
You're too nice a guy.
And here's the thing, I go back a long way with Brian. I think it was the first gig that you ever did outside your home club is when you came out.
That's right.
Work with us. So after he leaves Lauderdale, so he'd just been doing it for a little while. He had like 18 minutes. 16 minutes of it was the funniest shit anyone has ever heard. Like 16 minutes of it was ready for TV. And he's like, geez, I don't know what I have. And all the other comics in their back, because everybody is just starting, going, fuck, God damn it, shit. Because we're all stabbing each other and doing whatever we can. And here comes just the nicest guy in the world, just blowing everyone's doors in.
Oh, I don't know about that, but...
Sure. Oh, I don't think so. I just got lucky.
Oh, shucks, fellas.
I just got lucky that night.
Come on, fellas.
Golly gee.
You did stand-up?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, sure. I had a club for a long time.
Which one?
In Florida, in Clearwater,
Kisses.
Florida. Kisses is where we started, and then I start my own club.
Then he turned into a magician. He made an entire club disappear up his nose.
That's a disease, first of all. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you make fun of people with cancer, maybe that's funny to you.
Right.
I see the two diseases as the same. And the problem is, if you live in Florida, everyone catches that disease sooner or later.
Yeah.
But I will say this: I never smoked it, and I'm proud of that. I never smoked it.
That's good.
You didn't know what
you know the limits. You know the line.
I don't hate myself that much.
Don't know what you're missing, pal.
Yeah. Really, Secret?
Oh.
Because I got a Jones on.
First hit of the
I got
night.
a Jones.
Fantastic.
And you know, that's not the only person. What was the big club in Tampa where the guy was just totally whacked out?
Giggles.
Giggles, remember? And everybody was, you would do a week there and go, okay, where's my money? He goes, hey, you snorted a lot of coke this week. I mean, if we start to take the coke out of it,
yeah,
you ended up paying him $50.
Wow. Brian, you ever do the coke?
No, but at that club, there was one week that I didn't get paid at the end of the week, and I had to. I was co-headlining with another guy, and then that guy went and got paid. He comes out and he goes, "I got it all 1s and 5s." So I'm like, well, if they gave him 1s and 5s,
yeah.
What's up? I go back in and they don't have my money. They said they're going to wire
no.
it to me. It was like 3 weeks of hell, and then I finally go back in and. During the day, like 3 weeks later, and there's like 5 cop cars out front. And,
you're probably not getting your money when you
no,
see
I
the
walk
cops
in
down.
and I'm like, what's going on? And they said a comedian came in asking for his money, and the manager punched him in the face. So I was like, wow. So I went in there, but they didn't want any more trouble, so they just paid me like right away. It's like, Brian, get over here. And they paid me my cash, man. So
I took a hit for you.
This was the best thing about that club is like, well, we don't have the money for you, but I can do this. I can book you back for 3 more weeks. And guys would go like this. All right, I'll take it.
That sounds good.
I'll take it. Wow. Plus, you'll sleep with 3 of the waitresses. So everything's going to work out well.
All worked out.
We got new Taser audio. We were supposed to play this yesterday.
You probably enjoy the Taser audio, Brian, right?
Don't you, Brian? This is an audio
this
of a
is,
guy getting hit with a taser?
You know, the internet is
our new
amazing now, and you could see anything you've ever dreamt of or had nightmares about. And one of those things that are making the rounds, a lot of taser tapes.
Man.
Videos, the cops have video cameras out there, and when people get tasered, it usually ends up on the internet. And it's funny as hell.
Great.
I got an example of an old one here from Florida.
From Flippa Babies to...
No.
Oh, boy.
I messed up.
You certainly did. What bank?
I don't know. 3, I guess.
There you go.
All right, let's try this.
Without the build-up.
That's funny, right?
Wow.
You need it with the build-up, though.
I know. I don't have the whole story on that one.
It's fun to play Guess When She Gets Tasered. It's the most obvious game ever.
Well, we could play the new one, and then maybe we'll play the old one.
All right.
Wouldn't it be funny if they just showed those on America's Funniest Home Videos?
Right.
Come back and see the whole studio audience in their suit and ties laughing.
Yeah. Looking at each other and nodding.
Yeah. The taser.
That is what it's like.
Saget does a funny voice. Oh, no, is that me because I'm a savage? Oh, no. Here I am walking along. Oh, there's a taser in my heart. A taser in my heart.
Oh, we'll be right back. It's Funniest Home Video.
One of the 3 finalists. Is it guy that gets kicked in the groin, baby that won't eat, or woman that gets tasered?
Who wouldn't watch?
Of course.
Who wouldn't watch
your
that?
favorite.
Jeremiah, California. What's up?
Yeah, man, you guys there?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, man.
Hey, these Lex and Terry guys are such pussies. They're dumping out of everything.
Of course they are.
Yeah, they can't handle that.
I tried to call in, and I was going to tell them, I invented farting. Tell them, Fred.
Right. They have no idea what they have just. They have no idea what they have just taken on.
Brian's like, wait, I'm doing their show next week.
Hey, wait.
That's pretty good. We really don't need Brian if we have you here.
I thought was I just talking?
What's funny?
I don't remember talking.
I was looking at him while you were talking. I'm like, that's
thought
odd.
he became a ventriloquist.
Did I just think that?
Well, I've been on their show, and they've been good to me.
No, it's okay, Brian. They're not gonna.
They're good guys.
You'll still be able to do their show. Don't worry about it, Brian.
Beautiful.
Here, goddamn Lex and Terry lover.
All right, we have the Florida Taser story.
Oh, we do.
Why don't we play that before we do the new one from Pittsburgh?
Right.
Okay, here we go.
How would you like it if you were tasered by a cop? Well, this happened in Florida to one woman, but police review all the cases where force is used. They say this one was justified. You be the judge.
For speeding, you're doing 51 miles an hour. The speed limit down on Seacrest is 435.
Boynton Beach police officer Rich McNevin pulled the driver of this Isuzu over for speeding. He finds the driver, Victoria Goodwin, also has a broken windshield and a brake light out. Officer McNevin then learns that Goodwin is driving without a license and returns to arrest her.
Sir, put your cigarette out. Step out of the vehicle for me.
But Goodwin stays in the car, talking on her phone. Officer McNevin reaches in to pull her out.
He's arresting me. Stop. Don't touch me. The policeman is... You're going to shoot me? He's got a gun and he's going to shoot me.
3 times, Officer McNevin warns Goodwin that he will use his taser.
Get out of the car or I'm going to tase you.
Tase.
Oh.
Put your hands behind your back. Do it now. Do it now or you're going to get tased again.
The officer hits her with his taser a second time. Goodwin screams and cries for 2 more minutes before officers move her to the squad car.
It's over and done with. We've been tased before. We know it's not that bad. So put your...
I don't care what you say. I've never been tased before.
Okay.
The Palm Beach Post offered Boynton Beach Training Sergeant Sedgwick Aiken to offer a police perspective. Why use the taser while Goodwin was in the car?
She pulled away from him. Basically, she escalated the use of force.
Why then was the second taser used while Goodwin was already on the ground?
We haven't patted her down. No one searched her to see if she has any weapons or anything on her person. And if you go in and rush her and try to place hands on her, place her on arrest, she could injure an officer or become injured herself.
All Boynton Beach police get tasered as part of their training, so they do understand what they are doing to people when they do use their tasers.
What do you think?
Hey. That is fantastic.
Wow. Tase has become such a common verb.
I'm going to tase you with the taser.
I've never been tased before.
You want to be tased?
Once you're tased and you got all that voltage running through you, then the guy's trying to talk sense. Now I'd like you to lay down.
On your stomach. Do it now or I'll tase you. My muscles are pretty much shot.
I've never been tased before. That hurts.
Those are great, and there's new ones coming online every week.
Day. It's the new craze.
What if you're in a tub or something? What if you're in a puddle? Could that kill you?
No,
it's just
no.
I think it's a controlled amount of voltage.
High voltage, low amperage is what they say. The amps that kills you, you know.
Yeah. What about a pacemaker? They don't know.
Wait, and how do you know that?
I watched it on I saw it on Discovery. They were doing a law enforcement.
And you learned what?
Well, you taking notes?
Even if I saw it, I still wouldn't remember.
It's a high voltage but low amperage.
Forget Aristotle and fuck Socrates. Here comes Professor Anthony.
Here's what Anthony does, and it's sickening. He knows shit about everything, and what he'll do is to make the 2 other fucking dummies in the studio feel okay. He'll go, no, I just saw a special. Instead of going, I know that, you retards.
I read.
I was born with that knowledge.
It's just a tidbit of information that I pick up. I know a little bit about a few subjects. And
I don't know the difference between volts and amps. So it's the
watts.
Start with the high one, low the other.
I had no idea. I didn't know the difference till now. I had no idea. I didn't know that. Now, Brian, I saw you do some kind of science special on TV one time.
I saw that.
Oh, we all saw that.
Yeah.
Only Human?
Yeah, Only Human.
That was it.
We have the star of Only Human in the studio.
Little psychology, a little
It was
science.
a psychology, kind of a
anthropology.
How do humans react under certain situation kind of thing.
I think it was a good idea that went another direction.
You didn't like the finished show?
Well... The show was like pitched, you know. I mean, it was a show that was already going along, and then they told me the idea to it, and I thought, that's a pretty funny idea. And then when I was involved with it, you know, I realized I didn't really have a whole lot of power.
Yeah,
I had no power. There were like 20 people above me that could all say no, and so we just did one episode, and that was it.
Was it a PBS thing?
No, Discovery Channel.
Yeah.
I love that Discovery Channel.
So there you go.
So is less.
So there you go.
You can never run away from videotape.
There you go.
When it's out there, it's out there. You can't like get the only copy and shred it.
I don't remember one of the.
So there
do you
go.
remember any of the examples?
Move on.
Yeah.
No, it was a fun thing to do. But
I watched the whole thing.
Okay.
So did I.
I didn't even turn it off.
I thought it was a great show.
The lead-in was the Taser special.
That should be one of the reviews. Anthony from Opie and Anthony Show. I didn't even turn it off.
That was the kind of reviews we were getting.
And I know the difference between an amp and a volt. Not like my dumb friends.
All right, here's the latest Taser audio coming out of Pittsburgh.
Oh, my God.
Let them go. Hit it again. Fuck the pigs.
They changed the chant midway through.
Midway through. That's pretty good.
Smooth transition. Now, they ended with 4 more years?
Yeah.
4 more years? 4 more years?
And at one point I thought I heard need more shrimp. So I think each person gets a time to really get into the stuff.
I heard Save the Whales, like halfway through. Save the whales! Save the whales!
Where's my keys? Everybody.
We're here, we're queer, we're fabulous, get used to us.
And in Pittsburgh, fuck the pigs is just something you yell on date night.
They need some kind of a Taser Canyon out there in Pittsburgh. It's not enough.
No.
What was taking place there? Just one person got it, everybody's with them?
We don't have
the beginning sounded like
a
daycare center.
Shut
up! Shut up!
A lot of pandemonium.
Leaving my kid there.
Drink your juice!
Nap time. Don't make me tase you.
You want to get tased again?
Oof. Dugout wants to check in real fast. Dugout Doug, what's up?
What's going on, guys? I just got off the phone with the Lex and Terry phone screener myself.
Okay.
And I told them to listen. Listen real hard, as 2,000 of my closest friends are charging their cell phones. And they will take control of their show for the next week. We'll do you guys proud. We'll take them. And that golfer screener does suck anyway. Great to have you guys on, Ron and Fez.
Oh, thanks.
Hey, did they put you through or no? They just clicked off, right?
Of course not. Are you kidding me? We're just going to swamp their phone lines. We're going to take their show. Don't worry about it. We got it, guys.
Good.
We got it. They know where to go. You guys know the secret websites. The intel's out there already. Ron and Fez, in case you guys haven't seen this yet, this is going to be some really funny shit.
I know.
Tomorrow,
I don't want to know anything about it.
I just have the feeling sooner or later these people are going to turn on me and Fezzi.
Yeah.
That we're going to just say something wrong.
We know they're going to turn on us someday.
Yeah, we don't even control our own show anymore.
Yeah.
We don't control our own destiny.
It'll be like Mussolini and his family out there just hung upside down by our boot heels.
They love you for a while.
Our heads caved in the streets.
We might have to explain this to Brian Regan because you
what
look a little scared there. Well, we used to have fans. Now they're called pests. They're just annoying.
Yeah.
They now take over other radio shows if they feel like it. No joke.
Yeah, they have.
They buy billboards now.
They have an army, literally. This army that they mobilize and attack other people that we don't particularly
are they under
like.
FEMA?
Yeah. They have secret websites, all sorts of stuff.
Hey, we mobilize better than FEMA, by the way.
I'm sure you do.
Brian, seriously, this would be great for your Only Human show. I don't know where you're going with that. But I would love to watch this.
I might even go the whole thing and not turn it on.
They completely took over a radio show in Orlando. And then to rub it in, they actually bought a billboard on their own.
And you know what I heard?
To rub it in their face.
They have their own financing.
I heard from
they have their own
friend,
financing. I'm not even kidding.
That was a Clear Channel billboard,
Yes.
and the guy works for Clear Channel.
Yeah, they don't care.
Yeah, I have people I know that work in that station, and told me that whole show just was fucking flipped out.
livid. How do
Yeah.
you do your show when you based your whole
Yeah.
show on phone calls and you could not take a
And
one?
we'd love Lex and Terry fans to call this show. You're welcome to call this show. Not one Lex and Terry fan call. You're welcome to call
What's
the show.
that phone number again? For
Right,
the
Brian?
pests?
But what's the beef with Lex and Terry?
Don't
That's
you worry about it. Just rest assured there's
All right.
beef.
I'm sure it can be worked out.
1-800-977-DO-US.
Do us. Hey, Mr. Regan, also a pleasure to talk with you, sir.
Thank you.
You're infamous with having new material every time you're out on that stage. Let me just tell you what we do in our attacks. We'll hear the same old Connor Peterson jokes that you heard a year ago. But they will be funny every time.
Yeah, they have no new material.
You will hear "You lose, good day, sir." You will hear a little Connor. You'll hear the same shit, but it'll be just as annoying as if it was brand new.
So I hope they're getting any audio of any calls or any reactions that those two faggots have.
Yeah, prepare for the cease and desist orders. Talk to you guys.
All right.
See you, man.
There he goes, Dugout Doug. He's one of the generals there, Brian.
One of the generals of the ONA Army.
Rallying the troops.
Rallying the troops. They have secret websites that we don't even know
not
where
allowed
they
to
are.
know. We're not
and
allowed
they
to know about
coordinate their attacks. Say they're attacking a show, in Florida. They will post cities around the show so that when they call in, they could sound authentic. Because a caller
Dave
would
from
be from
Ocala.
up here. Yeah, and they'll post subject.
That would have worked. You'd have got through.
Subject matter that they're talking about recently on the show, so you can chime in with a relevant topic.
Shamu, I just left Shamu.
Right,
and,
Shamu.
If you say you're from Ocala, they're going to put you right through. Of course. No one would make that up.
I'm from Lutz, and I would like.
I want to talk about the budget. Which budget? You know what budget I need to talk about.
The weird thing, though, Brian, this would be like any hecklers that you have organizing and following you from town to town.
Right.
You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
imagine
It's
that.
the worst nightmare ever.
Your entire audience is hecklers from different parts of the country, all
Saying,
united.
We're Dave from Ocala.
All united in hatred of you.
That's odd.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little scary. It really is.
But they're only human.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll be right back. It's only human. What's a tadpole? We're going to tell you.
There were good people involved in that show. That's what I feel badly about.
How
who
does
did a
the-
good job. I think I probably messed it up. It would have been a good show if they had
Great.
somebody else.
No.
With some science experience.
You look at
hosting
something
that.
like Mythbusters,
Yeah.
which took off.
Right.
Very popular show. Now, what's the difference? You would look at somebody presenting a script like that and go, it's two guys, and they're going to recreate urban legends and myths and put a scientific spin on it. You'd be like, get out of here. I'm not watching that.
How
Well,
could
it
you
does very
possibly
well.
know if a show's gonna go well? Bob Denver just died 2 days ago?
Oh, I had no idea.
You're kidding.
No, really?
How did it happen?
Oh, it's not a laughing matter.
That's terrific.
That is not.
That was the taser button, I thought.
But he did, yes.
And they were talking to, they had a thing about the whole Gilligan's Island show, and they were talking to one of the CBS executives when the show was pitched, and it was like this old guy, and he said, well, when I heard the idea for the show, I thought it was a stupid idea, and you know what? I still think it's a stupid idea.
Was that just an attack on the Jews? Because isolate that.
It's his new show about Jews. They're almost human.
Oh, my God. We do have a Jewish army. Let's calm down.
When I was approached by Gilligan, I said, "Oy vey, what is this crap?"
You know I've always had that little thing about the Jews.
He's like, the executive said, "I love money, and I'll just save every dime I have with my hook nose."
I'll control the weather.
That's not even close to the voice.
Brian, you've
I'm
changed.
gonna tell you.
Wow,
Brian.
shock jock.
A little edgy. Wow. Getting edgy.
Wow, I guess none of us are safe. Brian Regan's on the warpath.
He's on the prowl.
Who else do I hate?
Dennis in D.C. What's up, Dennis?
What's up, boys?
Hey, man.
Sugar Nipples.
Hi.
Hey, Ron and Fez, that
taser footage sounds like the old days when you guys used to play Spin the Stunner.
Yeah, we used to play Spin the Stunner all the time.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, we invented that. We invented
Yeah,
the
that
taser.
was yours.
Nobody
Yeah.
steal it.
We tased people.
Cops all over the country are ripping you off.
Yeah, sure.
Hey, Sally has a good idea, actually.
Sally, a girl?
Sally always calls from Illinois. What's up, Sally?
Hi, I got an idea for a new call-in quiz. Remember douche or dressing? You could have a new one called tasing or coming. Because the screams sound kind of similar, don't they?
Listen how nervous her voice is. She and taser are coming.
What if it's both?
Whoa!
Wow.
You imagine? Ding, 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 you win the big prize.
Sometimes with a chick, just as soon as she's getting off, I like to hit her in the neck with one. There we go. Then I'm in for the ride of my life.
Could be a follow-up to our game, Coming or Going.
Oh, right.
Is it dying?
That was a brilliant, brilliant.
Yeah, you
concept we
take
came
you
up
take
with.
clips from a porno movie of a
Mhm.
girl getting off, and then you take clips from a horror movie of a girl being slaughtered, and you try to figure out if it's coming or going.
I like it.
Do we still have that? Disc?
Oh, now I get it. The horn.
I'm horning somebody. It's beeping the horn, not in the car. It's the wacky horn. That's what we're ripping off. Revelation.
Do they really think that you stole that idea from them?
I don't know.
That's almost mind-boggling.
Isn't it?
It's mind-boggling.
They'd have to be older than Harpo Marx.
Yeah, right?
To take credit for that one.
We only steal from black and white people. 1-800-977-DO-US. Those faggots in Florida.
Let's say
Brian Regan sent you.
No,
no, don't say that.
Brian has nothing to do with that.
No, please. I'm out of this beef.
That's right.
I still haven't found out what you're angry with them for. I understand your army is calling in.
Let's
but
just
what did
say
do?
they started it.
It sounds nuts when you say it.
They started it.
You don't need to know
We
anything,
sound like answers
Brian.
when you say it.
Yeah.
But what did they do?
Someone with
Peacenik.
logic in this room? Stop. You don't need to know. Let's go to Rob in New York. Rob.
Just let it be said, they
Good morning,
support
Opie.
terror.
Hold on. Go ahead, Rob.
I want to say good morning to Ron and Fez, and welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
You guys have still got every ounce of your magic, man. I'm dying every time you guys open up your mouth. You know exactly what you're doing.
Come out and see all of us tomorrow night.
At B.B. King's in
Can you
Times
get
Square.
Sweet Melissa?
Yeah.
What?
Remember Sweet Melissa?
Yes.
Can you guys get her on your show someday?
I believe she's married now and wants to get rid of the character, or at least she's engaged.
Oh, no.
And the character's not so funny to the fiance.
But don't worry, Earl's in charge, so he's going to come up with new concepts and new characters for the Ron and Fez show, right?
Sweet Earl is one of them.
Somebody has to wake him up.
Sweet Earl.
He's in a depression.
I thought Sweet Melissa was a song request he's already putting in.
Yeah.
If only. We play all the hits.
Who is Sweet Melissa?
A young lady that used to stop by the show.
Very
and
hot voice.
They had me and Voss went up to one of their parties one time. It was I actually got blown in the stairwell at NEW. It was the hottest.
You're welcome.
Yeah, he's here now. Fezzy always wants to take care of the guests.
We would
You're
go
a VIP.
We
Yeah,
would
there
go
was
to
me.
parties, or we'd go to Caroline's or anywhere else in the city, and then come back to the studio, and you guys would be in there, and the parties you were holding were like you went to a club.
Some of the best in New York.
Unbelievable. The girls, the booze,
Right.
drugs, Earl.
Yeah.
Fantastic parties you guys used to have. I'm
Earl
looking
would
forward to
play-
having some of those here.
Earl would play piano in the corner. And
Yeah.
Did you guys have snack chips?
Yeah, we did.
Plenty.
Really?
All you can eat.
Sometimes, sure.
Puts it over the top.
I can't see Earl. Is he laughing?
A rim job and some sun chips.
By the way, the stairwell thing. How do you invite someone into a stairwell?
Dude, it's so awkward. But
How do you? I just don't know.
The bathroom was full.
Getting out is the hard part.
What do they think's going to be happening? Hey, I was wondering if you might want to step into the stairwell.
A stairwell is the Ritz-Carlton compared to some of the places Jimmy has taken some of these girls. What about the bathroom stall?
Oh, like when there's a girl in there and she's holding on to the actual flushing area and you're fucking her and Opie's going, "Where's Norton?" on the air.
Yeah,
You're
you're
getting laid over a
hearing the
toilet.
radio.
Yeah.
Yeah, where's Norton? He's banging a girl in the bathroom
I used to
stall.
smoke back then, so you say, "Let's go have a cigarette," or "I'm gonna go have a cigarette," and then when they're there and you're
It's
smoking,
a famous stairwell, too. A lot of people autograph the wall.
absolutely,
Yeah.
you're
It was called
smoking.
Club
and you're
Stinky
dick
for a
comes
while.
out.
What is she thinking as she's laid across the toilet with you mounting her, thinking, I'm with a famous comic. I can't believe it.
I'll tell you what she's thinking. Thank God I don't have to look at his face. She's staring down
No.
at the bowl.
No, Jimmy.
Have you seen this picture of Pat Battle?
I absolutely have. One of our listeners.
What's this all about?
One of our listeners found Pat Battle walking around somewhere, maybe at an appearance. I'm not sure how he found her, but she took a picture with the guy, and she's pointing at the wow sticker and kind of making a face. Face.
Now, she's making a face like she's a good sport, like she knows all about it.
Yeah.
Kind of is.
You know someone's emailed her. They had to. The people are talking about you all over the place.
I saw her, one of her newscasts. I was flipping around the channels and stopped on the news. I didn't know, though. I kind of was half paying attention. And the male anchor said who he was, and she goes, and I'm Pat Battle. And my head spun around like, oh, we nailed someone else. Like I thought it was somebody getting screwed up by one of our listeners with the Army or something. But no, it was just Pat Battle saying her name. But we love Pat Battle, and for some reason her name, Pat Battle, has taken off, and now people are using it like the O&A Army. They'll call Lex and Terry right now and try to get on the air just so they could go, you're a pussy because you're backing out of having a Pat Battle with Opie and Anthony. Getting Pat Battle's name in and taunting them.
It's just the most unfeminine, awful name anybody could have.
Battle.
Yeah.
Steve is coming in to explain the Pat Battle picture that's up on FoundryMusic.com.
Well, when will Steve get in here? Here oh, look out. Whoa! There he comes. Steve's got a new hybrid car. He bought a hybrid car that saves so much gas, and it's so small and uses such a little amount of gas that he flies around here in the studio in it.
Sounds like he's looking for a parking space.
Enough, just park. Set it down, Steve.
Oh, there's one.
One atom of hydrogen.
There you go. That's all it took.
Hey, exactly.
What's
Hi,
up,
guys.
Steve?
Yeah, the guy's name was.
It's like old time radio in here, Brian.
the Jetsons.
Do we have
Opie and
a squeaky
Anthony.
door hinge? And I need some half coconuts because a horse is going to come.
You get that big metal thing to make the lightning.
Thunder. It's kind of like when the Flintstones met the Jetsons. You're right.
Yeah.
Opie and Anthony meet the Jetsons. Go ahead there, Steve.
The picture was from a guy named Joe who saw her doing a live shot sometime in Jersey, and apparently, and he's not the first guy that's contacted me about exactly. Well, you just asked. That's what I'm telling you. Apparently, she doesn't get it, but she's not really upset by it.
Enough.
She doesn't get it.
No one gets it.
Exactly.
It's just my name.
She wasn't, she was sort of like, all right, great, fine, next.
It's the one bit we do that absolutely no one gets.
Right.
I want to try something.
Yeah.
Oh,
you need something.
Yeah.
You need a beverage. I like the hand signal.
Where's Bill the intern? He's
Why
my favorite.
isn't?
Yeah.
So you're strangling a child.
Bye,
Nixon.
Steve.
I didn't think he was going to get it started that time.
I know. It always does that, but it's a hybrid. It's got to start.
If that goes down, wow, we're on trouble.
It saves
Sounded
so
like a
much
taser.
fuel. That's my did a little bit.
That's my daughter's boyfriend. What is this about? Elizabeth.
Yes, that's me.
Yeah.
Hi. How you doing?
All right.
Hey, listen, now that was Joe. That's my daughter's boyfriend. It was outside of Fort Monmouth when they were closing Fort Monmouth down.
Yes.
And he said she was really nice about the whole thing. And, I don't know if she didn't get it or she did get it, but he said she was just very, very nice.
All right.
Thank you for adding nothing.
Hey, you guys, you want to go to a hater? Let's see what the hater's all about. Jim in L.A., what's up?
Hey, guys.
Hey.
I have a question. Hey, how about you two fat guys that claim to be comedians over there?
Yeah.
Not Jim Norton. It's called Ron and Fez.
Yeah.
You guys claim to be, I'm trying to think, it's funny.
Yeah.
Am I right? You guys sound like absolute hacks. You're bringing the show down, and you're nothing for XM Radio.
Thank you very much.
Wow. You picked the wrong
Thank you.
day to try that gag.
Yeah.
These guys have been killing all morning.
Is that Dave from Ocala?
Yeah. He got through.
Damn you. Damn you.
The whole show, I've been sitting here thinking, thank God I don't have to work hard today.
Right.
That's what I'm thinking. Jesus Christ.
I'm leaving. I'm leaving. Goodbye, everybody.
See?
Goodbye.
You pull that gag when they're having a bad show.
And that'll happen soon enough.
And can I say the most
There'll be
hurtful
plenty
part
of
of
time
that
to hate.
is when you have to say the fat guy's not Jim Norton.
Well, first of all, Opie and Anthony are the only thin guys who work in radio. That's
Yeah.
the problem.
Fucking bodies on these guys.
And that took,
Unbelievable. Am I right or wrong?
that took 2 years of unemployment,
it's not,
anxiety.
You've always had a good body, though, and Oprah's always had that little thing, but that V thing he's got going on is fucking nice, man.
Uncomfortable. I'm uncomfortable.
Right there from the ribs, right down above the pubic region.
I want to thank Slim Fast for that.
Me too.
Let's say
is that stairwell material?
Let's go to Tampa. Walt, what's up?
Not much. I just wanted to say welcome to Ron and Fez.
That's right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Walt.
On 95 Wine F days.
Oh, thank you very much.
What a swing from the last call.
Yeah, things change. Things turn around. Thank you very much.
I felt like we all need a little pick-me-up.
I'm feeling good about myself again.
You should. You should feel good about yourself.
I'm going to lose weight and get in shape now.
One of the many secrets of radio, you feel bad about yourself. There's always one guy waiting to say how great you are.
Well, yeah, one of the things that we always do is when somebody's really hating on you, you let that person go a long time until everybody else calls to defend you. First of all, you do the best show ever. Thank you very much. Well, you got us through 9/11, so thank you for that.
That guy is just an asshole that called up.
There's no other career that you could have where
It's an old radio trick.
Yeah, and then people will always do, when my father was dying, I felt like I was at the end of my rope there. I couldn't do anything about it, but I would tune in your show every day. There would always be something that would keep me going. No other job has that. You know what I mean? And
when I looked out the window and saw you with that jackhammer, it just kept me going somehow.
But before they compliment you, they depress you. There's so many times that I lost my baby and thought I was at the end of the rope.
And while we were primering over, the light blew in that other room.
Yeah, and then you have to say thank you at the end.
Right.
Yeah, and then we buried our entire family. But we got a kick out of your show. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Always, especially in the music radio, people want to call up and request songs for the dead.
Sure.
That is the most depressing thing you're trying to do. Remember at AAF, trying to do a high-energy rock show?
What was the famous
one?
one?
And people would be like, dude, my father died yesterday, and I'm just really depressed. Thanks a lot. You know, I feel bad for you and all, but Jesus, how are we supposed to do a show?
Yeah, it always comes back to there's terrible problems, but if you can just get on some Ozzy, Mom, I'm coming home. It's always Mom, I'm coming home is the big one for them, you know. And you're like, I'm trying to make it through a show here.
Tickets will really cover a loss.
There was...
yeah, that's true.
We did do that show in Tampa, and we would get really red callers that would, be calling in from the middle of the state. And this one day, this guy calls in.
Indians, communists?
No, redneck.
Oh, okay.
As redneck
I don't understand the reference.
Yeah. I mean, pretty much the people that you see that are homeless right now on TV, they could all move over there and do well for themselves within a week. You could take over. Just some of the dumbest white people in the country. But in a nice way. They would love the rock stations. So this guy calls up and he's like saying to my partner at the time, we love you guys, we keep rocking. Because we would be playing rock music too, And we just had a little baby and we named him Diaz. You know what I mean? It's like a Spanish name you're giving it to a little white kid. And so he's like, hey, please don't do that. So I'm really uncomfortable having a kid named after me. Well, the following day or 2 days later, we get a call. Diaz is in trouble.
Now you're involved.
Now we're involved.
His godparents.
His little kidneys aren't working. He just can't seem to flush himself. And, my partner's just completely freaked out. And then it would always end to, so if you could get Freebird on, you know what I mean? We'll just keep him. He's a rocker. He's going to rock through this.
Little rocker.
The following day, of course, at 8:17 this morning, baby Diaz was taken from us. And, he's in tears at this point. Now, somebody he's never met, he's lost his little namesake. And he's going, are you behind us, man? No, I'm going, no. This is. I wish I would have thought of an idea like this, but your namesake is dead. 2 days later, we gave away his heart, brain, and skin tissue. So other babies, it just would never end. The funeral will be at 3:15 if you guys can get out there. And maybe if you can get us some of them David Lee Roth tickets, it might take our mind off it.
In lieu of flowers.
They always think backstage is going to solve any problem that they have.
Oh, man.
2 weeks they put this poor guy through this.
Wow, man. That is baby.
And you knew the baby was doomed before anything went wrong.
First of all, I consider the baby lucky to die in that family. that was the blessing. Could have went on.
This is a good place to take a break. Brian Regan in studio. He's playing Caroline's all this weekend. Tickets, I'm sure, are pretty much sold out. If not, you can call 212-757-4100 for Brian Regan tickets, starting tonight all the way through Sunday. Lots and lots of shows that Brian's doing.
Doing 6.
Whatever that adds up to.
Every show will be different.
We're going to be going to one of the shows tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Definitely after the Ron and Fez
Going
thing.
after the
Ron and
Ron and
Fez
Fez
in
thing.
studio. They're starting up on 202 Monday morning.
And tomorrow night, you can say it's at BB King's. We'll be having free beer. Welcome back.
Nice.
Party.
And we'll
We're
be
there.
at that as well. Earl, take us out of here, will you?
It's the O&A FU line. Call 1-866-FU-LINE-1 and tell that special someone,
Fuck you.
give it to me.
We're having a lot of fun today. Jesus, Earl, turn down the music a little. Earl's learning the board, so.
Is he going to slip in Black Rock Coalition songs during the day? I wonder. We get a lot of Living Color and what other bands?
Pat Boone.
Living Color.
That's about it.
Fishbone.
Oh, Fishbone, right.
And
Living Color.
And Seven Dust.
Oh.
And
You get
local
John Philip Sousa.
John Philip Sousa.
Local H.
Yeah, you're going back a ways.
Exactly. Always have flubs if you need something. Thank you, Nathaniel. He does it differently than Eric. Eric will tell you what to do. At least Nathaniel presents something that's a possibility.
Or saying Than is better in here.
Oh yeah, there's gonna be changes.
Uh-oh.
No, Eric is actually working on the second phase of the Opie and Anthony auction for the victims of Hurricane Katrina there, Brian.
It was a hurricane?
Yeah.
Do you want to give us something that we could auction off online? You got anything on you?
Yeah, I can. I don't have anything on me, but
what about your glasses?
I'll be happy to send a DVD or a
Hold
CD.
on, you don't understand. Something on you, because at this point we're giving up our clothes, my inline skates that I use every day. I gave up. Anthony brought in jackets.
My fat sneakers.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll get them off, man.
How about the what's the ring?
In wedding, something like that?
Actually, Brian's goods are involved in the auction, aren't they? Yeah, his autographed copies of his DVD.
Oh, okay. I told
Go ahead.
It's
1995, and with the signature, it's like $20.05.
But it's the charity that makes people pay more, because they know they're not just getting the fine stylings of Brian Regan.
I got you. So they can pay more than what they normally.
And a proceed will go. A proceed of each charity.
A proceed? Yeah. 100%, my friend.
Oh, really?
100%. We don't want any of this.
Well, we're not going to make any money off
all
it.
All the brand new items will be up tomorrow. You got to check it out.
My
We
stuff
got
back now.
We got some very unique items up for bid tomorrow.
A good jacket away for nothing.
And if you really want to help out the cause for the victims and stuff, you can call 1-800-977-DO-US, and when they answer, just yell faggots and hang up.
Where are we at with that little thing?
I don't know.
You don't know? Uh-oh, Fezzi's mic's not on.
What up, Fez?
Earl.
Can we get Dirk back in the big seat?
He's back there. You're trying to send Earl to the back of the production room?
Bus.
Is that what you're trying to
bus.
do? The production bus.
Earl, is it?
All right, Bill.
I'm not giving up my seat
Ron
for
and
a white
Fez.
man.
Yes, sir.
Ron and Fez.
Yes.
Mahabone.
Mahabone, my brother.
Good to hear from you guys. Fez, you're a little newfie. Good to have you back on the air. Good XM all the way.
Thank you.
Fez's,
Oh, come on now.
Oh boy, Fezzy doesn't have a microphone.
Fez's people have come to this country from Newfoundland. I don't know whether you guys know that or not.
Wait, he really is a Newfie?
Yeah. He was born in this country, but the rest of his family, Newfies.
That's a derogatory term.
We didn't even know what a Newfie was until we started on XM. Oh boy.
Oh my God! Fix his mic.
First generation American.
Really? And
when my people came to this country in the 1950s.
Is Newfie a bad? Is it like?
It's the N-word.
It's the other. It's the other N-word they call it. The other
white. Oh, there's
meat?
another one.
Yeah,
the other white trash.
I didn't know there was another one. Earl, what's that one?
It's a bad one, Brian. Yeah.
Oh, so what's the proper Newfoundlandian?
Newfoundlander.
Newfoundlander?
You can even say that.
It's best just to call
wordy.
That's like impossible to say properly.
Fat Canadians is what they go for.
So, Ron, are you actually a Newfie lover?
Yeah, I guess I would be.
Why is Newfie so bad, though?
It's like saying Pollock in Canada.
Oh.
Pollock is bad?
Yeah, instead of Pole.
Hold on, I got to change a card. I'm sending my uncle.
You're supposed to call them Pokies.
Pokies.
All right,
They like that. I think they would enjoy that.
Hey, Kevin, what's up?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey.
Good to hear everybody back together.
All right.
Hey, Brian, you should auction off an official Brian Regan cup of dirt.
Hey.
Wow.
Make that happen immediately. Where do we get dirt in Manhattan?
It's New York City. It's going to be more toxic than Louisiana water.
Scrape Ben's desk off.
I'm not even kidding. Autograph a cup of dirt, and you watch how much money it'll raise on our auction.
That'd be cool, man.
Starting tomorrow,
All right.
a cup of dirt from Brian Wick.
You think a good idea, man?
Dirt?
How about this? You just have Brian sign a cup, and you put the dirt in later.
Yeah, good idea.
It has to be authentic.
That way, absolutely nothing has to come out of my pocket.
You know,
I'm going to donate a cup of dirt to this cause.
All right, guys, good to have everybody back.
Wouldn't it be easier to just have him autograph a Pop-Tart?
I like cup of dirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you have to write something on the cup, like official
It's a
cup
cup
of dirt
with
from your
dirt
friend,
in it.
With dirt in it.
Brian Regan.
And if Brian dies, God knows what that would be worth.
Do we have a Pop-Tart laying around? Let's
Two cups of dirt.
We'll do an official
Autograph a Pop-Tart.
Pop-Tart and a cup of dirt. You laugh. We're going to call you in a week, and we're going to tell you how much money your cup of dirt got.
Snow cone?
I say at least.
How about I autograph a snow cone?
I don't want to find out it was like $4.
No, it's going to be at least 200, my friend.
Would you sign an ox?
An oxen?
Oxen, yeah.
Yeah. You can sign everything that has anything to ever do with any bit you've ever done.
All right. That sounds good, man.
All right. We're getting the cup of dirt.
Everybody knows his bits like they're songs, too. Like, they have a little life of their own. Other people start to cover them after a while. There's a little something by Brian Regan I like to do. It's called Cup of Dirt. I hope you like it. I slowed it down. That's the difference. That's what I slowed it down a little bit.
The instrumental version. I saw some guy, I won't say who, on stage, at Caroline's, by the way, doing the walking in the rain bit, and how you pull your collar up to cover your neck and walk like that, like it's going to do something in the rain, like it's going to help.
That's my bit.
Oh.
That's our bit. Mention any name.
That's our bit.
You know, that's something that other people could think of, you know.
No, they could.
Yeah.
No. And now we're at war with him.
Yeah,
we'll send the army out just for you.
Well, I appreciate it.
Who is the guy? Is he doing well?
No, not at all.
That always helps.
Some guy.
Thank you, sweetie.
All right, we're patiently waiting for a big star to call the show.
Do we have bios for the other one, too?
This is not happening, by the way.
Why not?
No.
Why would you think, with the guests, we cannot never get guests on the phone? Or I was just gonna lay out a huge insult.
Yeah.
I was gonna say we can never get good guests
in studio.
Wow. As Brian is sitting here. I don't mean it like that.
No,
Kevin's across that way, though.
I know you guys didn't pass out bios before I came in. Where is it? Everybody, we all have to do our homework.
Well, yours just says only human, and
I
that's
see
it.
under his Discovery Channel exploits here. Yeah, I didn't mean it like that. I just
didn't
meant
take it that way.
You're Hollywood actors.
Wow, this is awkward.
You're a friend, Brian. You are a friend.
Wow, this is tense.
Look how many.
He's been in 90 movies.
90 things on his resume.
To have so many that you could actually call your body of work a filmography. That's amazing.
And, little movie like Star Wars, Episode 2 and Episode 3. Little films like that.
That was
and
Samuel Jackson?
Look at number 33. Only
Where?
human. Only human.
Man, The Exorcist 3.
Where?
I smoked the TV set.
I just watched that last night. Is that the greatest?
Yeah, it's the greatest role. And that was real early in his career, right?
I think that was after he was actually. Well, no. He started like obviously in the 70s. I mean,
Really?
Wow.
And that was 1990 or 91 actually. That was my favorite thing he ever did. Though was Jungle
Me
Fever.
too, man. He was amazing in that.
Pulp Fiction.
I love Pulp
That's
Fiction.
some fucked up, repugnant shit.
Jungle Fever though was just great. He was just a fucking just degenerating about dancing, talking about I like to get high, smashing an old lady over the head. How do you not love that?
That is good.
All right, so
I like getting high. Ow. It's fucking the greatest song ever. I tried to record it to bring it in today, but the DVD has that block thing on it, so I couldn't tape it.
Bastards.
we also have Eugene Levy calling in.
Yes.
He's already late though.
Well, it might be
Dude.
running late. These schedules run late sometimes.
It will not happen.
I'm acting. It might be later.
Samuel L. Jackson is a gigantic star. No way we're getting him.
This is a gigantic radio program. He'll be calling in.
Well,
I am
sure he
never
will.
sending out my resume again after looking through
It's
this.
amazing. He's done a lot of good Spike Lee stuff too.
Stax Edwards, of course.
Mr. Jackson.
Fellas.
Hello?
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 So close.
Ah! What was that?
Hello?
There? Mr. Jackson.
What are you, popping caps off over there? That was a weird sound.
Anthony just finished saying that we would not have you on our program
I didn't
today.
think you were going to come on.
And here he is, Samuel L. Jackson on the Opie and Anthony program.
You better know better. I'm
Wow.
not alone.
You, my friend, are the biggest star we've ever had on our show.
That's because you never had Eugene Levy on your show. There you go.
Well,
wait, is Eugene with you?
No. Don't even. Just make believe I'm not here.
Wow.
Hey, we got a tag team.
Unbelievable.
I got to tell you, this new movie sounds like it's going to be a good one.
Well, get out there and see it. You'll have a lot of laughs.
Samuel, I have an odd question for you, because I didn't know that The Exorcist 3, to me, is one of the scariest movies ever. And I'm looking at your bio, the blind man in the dream sequence. Were you sitting there with angel wings on? Who were you in that dream sequence?
I'm one of the guys who's trapped in limbo listening to a radio. No, Patrick Ewing's one of the guys with wings on.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking of, Patrick Ewing. And
Patrick Ewing and Fabio.
Fabio was in that, too. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry you're promoting a new movie, and I bring up like the most obscure thing you've done. I just didn't know you were in that, and I'm a huge fan.
Well, don't tell everybody.
Guy's in 8,000 movies. You bring up that one.
I know.
I actually think they overdubbed my voice, and somebody else's voice is there, because I remember watching that movie saying, that's not my voice.
Could have been me.
Could have been
I didn't work at the time. I was into voice work.
That would probably be pretty obvious. I would think.
And Eugene Levy does the best films out here today with Christopher Guest. Those films just one after another.
I
Unbelievable.
Love them all. You got to be part of that clique, though.
Don't start.
You got to be part of that little clique that they all hang out with.
That's
right. Well, yeah.
No brothers in that clique either.
No, there isn't. You're absolutely right.
They click.
Noticed that, did you?
Yeah. Well, we can't open up that can of worms. It is a little clique, but it hopefully will be growing.
Hopefully it'll become all inclusive.
Finally. I didn't see Waiting for Guffman. There wasn't one black guy in that.
It's getting warm in here.
Samuel Jackson can't believe a film has been made that he wasn't part of.
I think Guffman was black.
Exactly.
He just never showed up.
Show up, right.
He was actually passing.
Yeah, well, the problem is, here's one of the things, too. We got to be, we can't go with, never go with people that are actually recognized,able and famous. That's the one reason Mr. Jackson
You're
here
about to lose your job.
Can't get into the ensemble. He's
The
just,
Mutual Admiration Club
way
over
too
here.
famous.
Come on.
I watched actually part of Jungle Fever last night. I got to tell you, Gator getting shot could be the most depressing scene ever shot.
Why? Because you liked him that much?
I loved him. Yeah. That was my favorite thing that you ever did. I've loved all your. That's my favorite thing. That scene was just absolutely perfectly depressing. It was great.
Oh, thank you.
No, I was saying Pulp Fiction, of course.
Everybody says that.
Probably get that
Everybody says that.
Everybody says that. Well, it's just such a great character.
Yeah, people are always quoting things from that movie.
Who doesn't love hearing Samuel L. Jackson say motherfucker?
Attempting to.
I got to be honest. Did you when you were asking for money to get high and you started singing "I like getting high"? That was just something you riffed, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Of course. See, that's what you quote Samuel Jackson on.
And Jimmy knew that.
I love it.
Yeah.
And
I
Eugene
love
Levy.
him in Goodfellas.
It was short but sweet. Short but sweet.
I'm
the coffee.
I'm a straight man, but I got to say, Samuel Jackson's cheeks in Goodfellas were phenomenal.
Wearing those little panties.
Oh, my God, were those fantastic.
That was my crack
ass. So, what's the new movie about, guys?
I play an ATF undercover agent whose partner's been killed and some guns have been stolen. I'm trying to set up a buy with the bad guys, and Eugene comes to town for a dental convention. He's a dental supply salesman, and he ends up in my spot, and they think he's me. Can you believe that? And I have to use him as my go-between.
The trailer looks great.
It's very fun.
I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing. Sorry.
What? Oh, wow. Look, why are you yelling at our guests? Is
that a line? I'm stealing the line from Pulp Fiction.
It scared Eugene. It rang a bell there.
Eugene, how could you not have seen that movie 8,000 times?
I saw the movie, but some of these lines, I've heard lines similar to it in The Man. When somebody, I had "shut up" screamed at me about 5 times in this movie.
I think I heard that line in Best in Show.
Anthony, why don't you quote New York Minute with the Olsen twins for Eugene?
I'm trying.
Okay. Hey, listen, I can do some badass stuff if I set my mind to it, okay? You don't think I wasn't badass in the New York Minute?
You don't really come off as the intimidating
guy. I was a bad truant officer.
Truant officer.
Badass.
From Long Island.
Great. When's the movie open?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow? That would be
tomorrow.
Friday.
Yeah. Tomorrow.
Friday, yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Another great Samuel Jackson moment. Not to disrespect Eugene Levy, but
No. Listen, that's all right. I got time to kill anyway.
That's a very good movie I was in. You know that, right?
That's right. Time to kill.
Wow. Got everything.
Work that in for me, babe. Thanks.
You say any expression, and he was in a movie with that title.
And a lot of people who are coming to America will feel,
Funny you should mention that.
Hey.
When you call Louis Anderson Fat Boy, that's one of my favorite comedic moments.
Put the money in the bag, fat boy.
Oh, it's just fantastic.
Oh, poor Eugene. Come on.
What?
I loved you on SCTV.
Don't worry about me. I'm reading the paper right
now. He's done okay for himself.
It's all right.
It's bad when it's bad when you have like 90 movies people can quote from. It's like horrible.
You get it all the time.
Horrible.
Well, you have at least one line that somebody remembers from at least one of your movies.
Hey, did you do a Soldier Story too? Weren't you in the play?
Yeah, I was in the original company. Yeah.
Who'd you play?
Private Henson.
Which was done by who in the film?
Whoever that guy was, it was Brandy's dad on Brandy's TV show.
Oh Jesus.
Brandy's dad.
Yeah.
Hey, we got Fabio or Patrick Ewing.
We got a call. We got a call coming in from New Hampshire. It's Mike from New Hampshire. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, Sergeant Tenpenny, you still owe me my paper from that opening scene in San Andreas.
What?
What do you say?
Well, I'm prepared.
Is that a reference to something I did?
No. Yeah, it is. It's Eugene Levy role. Bobby Bittman.
That's Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas.
Yeah.
I was just wondering how long it took to do San Andreas.
I did all that stuff in one day.
And how much did you get paid?
Not a fucking enough.
Isolated.
Wow.
Those video game people are very cheap.
Hey, we have.
And then they only sent me one of the goddamn games.
Hey, you too, Mr. Jackson. We got something in common, Opie and Anthony and Samuel L. Jackson. We too were in GTA San Andreas.
Yes.
And what did the motherfuckers send you? It sent you one game, right?
We got one game, and I think I got a shirt.
And we got a sweatshirt.
I didn't even get a fucking sweatshirt.
and a bumper sticker.
I got a PlayStation and a goddamn Xbox. They didn't even send me. They just sent me PlayStation.
I'm sure you can swing it, though, right?
Well, I did win, Video Game Actor of the Year.
Nice.
At the Video Game Awards.
Picked up a VGA.
Oh, special.
So who did they hire first for this film? Like Samuel, or they hire Eugene first?
Hard to tell.
You don't know?
Sorry, I'm just leaping through the entertainment section.
We have varying stories on who actually had the script first. But from what I'm gathering, I think Eugene had read the script long before I actually got it, and they couldn't figure out who was going to play my character, and Eugene insisted that they hire a real badass. And therefore, I ended up getting the script. He'd moved on to greener pastures.
I don't know what the how much time elapsed there, but it's true. I said you got to get somebody good here. You got to get somebody good, like somebody, we need somebody that can act. Don't put all that on my shoulders.
Good idea. They were actually thinking about Nelly for a while.
Nelly. All right. Well, we look forward to checking out this movie tomorrow, The Man, right?
Yeah, man. Please do.
Guys, I'm something of an actor myself.
Something of an actor? What the hell
Jimmy Norton.
Yeah, I'm a comic. I do a little acting.
You role play at home with your girlfriend?
Whoa! I pretend I don't have chlamydia.
You don't even want to know what he's into, sir. But go ahead, Jimmy.
I wanted to ask these two, obviously both amazing actors for real. What is the biggest mistake? I wanted to ask every actor I've met, but I just get nervous and ask for a photo. The biggest mistake you see actors making commonly?
Boy, that could be one of the best
biggest
questions.
Mistake I see actors making.
Like when you see an actor, I know it's kind of a vague
standing up
thing.
on fucking soapboxes and thumping for causes.
Hey, that's good. Bravo. Just shut up and act.
Shut up and fucking act.
That's actually a real disease, though. It's called Sean Penn assholeitis.
Can't touch that.
Oh, it's getting warm in here.
That was me. I said it.
Can we turn up the air a little bit in here?
No, that was me, Brian Regan.
Wow, this is something.
What's yours, Gene?
I'm kind of feeling like Mike Myers here.
Yeah.
You don't care about black people.
Yeah, Mike didn't look too comfortable in that
Mike was
scenario.
Like, damn, he played the fucking race card.
Yeah, he was kind of he borrowed from our storyline a little bit. Wrong place at the wrong time.
I fold. I don't have any more cards.
Yikes.
All right, guys. I don't think you're getting an answer from Eugene.
What?
Jimmy.
Oh,
no, I was actually...
The biggest mistake? Listen, you know what? I got to go along with the same thing. I can't point out mistakes that people make when they're actually, working, but I think it's an odd thing when people get up and use their celebrity to help, push a cause that they may or may not know enough about.
And then there's always that whole thing about, actually thinking you are an actor.
Yeah, that would certainly be the category I'd fall into.
That's a whole other issue, and it's starting to get warm in here again.
Do you guys actually listen? For me, it's really hard to listen when I act. They always say listening is the most important thing. I just kind of watch the mouth move and wait till they're out cue word and then fire out my lines.
Yeah, that could be the key to your non-success.
Yeah, that's funny.
Is it important to listen? So you'll know how to react and when to react,
What's that?
Listening is very important, so you'll know how to react and when to react, because actors say lines in different ways and different takes sometimes for us, and you have to respond to it in the way it's given to you, so that's why you listen.
I know, and it's so hard to do, though. You're right, and I know you're right, because I've heard that advice before, and it's so hard to do because I'm so afraid I'm going to forget my lines.
Oh, so you're just repeating your line over and over again until the other actor
Oh, are you horrible?
Regardless of the response they give.
That sounds very Taxi Driver. You talking to me?
Yeah.
You talking to me?
I may as well do it into a recorder and just hold it up and replay it after every time they do it. I give back nothing.
Well, it sounds like you're turning a big corner.
Jimmy, Jimmy's going to Hollywood next week to film HBO series. So we're gonna
Which one?
It's a half-hour comedy on HBO. They're doing a live audience sitcom. It's Louis C.K.'s project. I don't think it's been titled yet, actually.
Oh, okay.
So
So,
hey, this has been great.
Thank you.
It seems like we're all getting along. Can we have your home phone number so we could maybe keep this relationship going?
555.
All right, guys. Thank you so much.
Guys.
The movie starts tomorrow. The Man. It's Eugene Levy and Samuel L. Jackson. This is a pleasure for us today, guys. Thank
Have
you.
an awesome day, guys.
Thanks,
good
guys.
luck.
All right.
Thank you.
There they go.
Wow, we actually had them on,
They were great.
and it actually worked out well. How does that happen?
Real guests on the
Real
Opie and Anthony
guests.
show.
Not like the schleps they parade in here in front of us on a daily basis.
That's right, Anthony. I'm with you.
Reagan's here.
Oh, and he's about to
I didn't mean you.
No offense taken.
All right, here's what's going to happen.
I just talked a little acting with Sam Jackson. That's what I
You,
say.
Cool.
Sam Jackson.
Two actors talking back and forth, trading theories. He
Right.
believes one thing, I believe another.
The question was very interesting. Is it important to listen?
I know.
Yeah. I like how he pictures Jimmy just repeating the line over and over in his head.
He's got the best sense of humor, doesn't he?
He's great.
And then blurting it out.
All right, we're going to take a break. When we get back, Brian Regan is officially going to sign the Cup of Dirt for our Opie and Anthony auction. Did you sign it already?
No.
That is
all
an
right.
awful cup of dirt.
It really
It's
is.
a cup of dirt,
As far as
weeds,
cup of dirts go.
and homeless man feces.
That really is a bad
This
cup
is
of
like
dirt.
That's Bill the intern threw up. So be careful with that.
All right.
New Orleans sledge water here or something.
Yeah.
We'll do that next. Brian
It's
Regan.
like the levee broke.
Caroline
wasn't listening.
All right. Caroline's all weekend long with Brian Regan. Ron and Fez starting on 202 Monday.
And
Like sand through the hourglass, so is the Oaday virus.
Obnoxious Drown the Clown guy. What's this?
This guy was one of the funniest acts I've ever seen. He was, what's it called? Drown the Clown. You basically, the Duncan stool? Yeah, dunking. So some guy is sitting there in this clown mask, and he's just trashing these people. Half of them are fucking, totally old jokes. But he says, hey, look at the white trash people. Ah, you fucking loser. And then he would just have this maniacal laugh, like the clown. And then he just go, ah! At the end of it, it was so fucking obnoxious. He got some skinny kid. He kept calling him a crackhead. And this dude is literally walking behind where you throw the balls, like, "Go, come on down from the stool. Come on down from the stool." He wanted to kick his ass. He would get these people so mad, and there'd be like 20 of them. And he'd get them so mad, but by the time that they actually, dunked him, they would all start giving the finger, going, "Yeah, fuck you! Fuck you!" You might need video on this one. I don't know.
Let's take a listen.
Hey, Blondie, I know you love me, you just don't know it yet. Oh, baby, doll. You been to CBGB's before? Yeah. You know why I can read your shirt? Because you're a carpenter's dream. Flat as a board and easy to screw. Hey, buddy, you better get her back to the pound. The feeding time's over. It's kibbles and bits time. Kibbles and bits, kibbles and bits. I'm gonna get me some kibbles and bits. Come on, play the game, losers. Hey, sweetheart, I got one more joke for you. Sweetie, hey, G.I. Jane, look at me. You got such beautiful blonde hair. Why did you dye the roots black?
This shit was just old jokes. Just fucking the most horrendous jokes, and just had that.
He sounds like Keith Robinson. He laughs at these.
I love this guy. An obnoxious asshole. You could have seen these fucking people standing around. How they all. There was one dude. He had he was completely bald on top, and he had a hat on. And I don't know if he lost his hat, but his face was like Puerto Rican brown, right? And then his fucking head was totally white. Look at this loser! Look at your fucking head! And he's just screaming at him. And this fucking guy is just losing. Yeah, look at my head! Look at my head! Fuck you! And then they would try to throw the balls even fucking harder, and they're missing by 20 feet. Yeah. And every ball they throw, he's like, ah! Oh, what an asshole.
Opie and Anthony, the virus is spreading.
That was pretty.
Turn it on. We're back with the opiate. Hello.
Oh, boy. Earl,
turn it on for us. We're back on the air. Earl.
Check.
Wait. No, hit that. That one.
Earl.
Right there in front of you.
Love driving him nuts.
And it was just, there was not even a pace pickup. He just looked with the same way.
No.
Didn't even move his fingers faster, just looked.
We were playing a gag on Earl.
Earl, what was the problem? What was the problem, Earl?
Say something, big man.
He had his... He's
Earl,
back
the
to
mic's
not
on.
talking again. Wow, that didn't take long.
Why aren't you talking,
Remember
Earl?
he used to not talk to us?
Yeah.
Oh, he's pushing the microphone away. He's not
Yeah.
happy. All right, well, that didn't work.
That was a fun gag.
It
worked
was
for
like
me.
we tried. It was
I
fun
think it
for
worked.
us. It was
It
fun
was
for us.
improv.
It was zany.
We were doing improvisational theater.
We made believe the mics weren't on, and then you see Earl freaking out in the other room, and you at home don't care because you don't see Earl freaking out in the other room.
Earl tried improv back in 1991, and someone yelled freeze, and he just never unfroze.
I thought Samuel L. Jackson was going to finally say he was Earl's father. Earl, I am your father.
Brian, would you like to sign the Cup of Dirt officially?
Yeah,
for our,
I don't know.
Our Opie and Anthony auction?
Exciting this is going to be, me signing this.
It has to be more than just Brian Regan.
Oh, all right. Well.
Yeah, like, here's a cup of, I don't know, something.
Write a few jokes from your act on it or something.
Right. All right, Brian is now autographing the Cup of Dirt.
Hey, it's good to be here. That's what I'm writing.
And the official photo proving that he
Oh,
signed
right.
the
It's
dirt.
now documented. You don't get this with a baseball or something you buy in the sports shops.
Then where are you from?
You laugh, but this is going to get lots of money.
That's right.
Authentic cup of dirt. How do you ship a cup of dirt
And
to somebody? Do you ship the cup and the dirt packed separately?
By the way, that's Field of Dreams dirt, too, so that's a little more...
Wow.
And there you go.
Some assembly required.
Did you sign it?
Yeah.
Or you just write something on it?
What does
Brian,
it say?
you have dirt all over the console.
You're only human.
Hey,
Wow, that's either Brian Regan or Big Kev. Your autograph stinks. Jesus.
Wow.
Doesn't it look like Big Kev?
Looks like Christopher Reeve grabbed the pen between his teeth.
It looks like you don't want anyone else to use your cup.
This is mine.
What does it say?
What an
Eric?
embarrassing way to have to own up to the fact that I don't know how to write.
Aww.
What does it say?
Me try right. That's cool. That's
Nice.
nice.
Good to be here. Where are you from?
Sincerely.
Seriously?
That's my name, Brian Regan.
Yeah.
All right,
See
so
what I'm saying?
it's an official Cup of Dirt, and now he's signing a box of Pop-Tarts.
Wow,
I'm sure
look,
he'll
the
be
pressure's
doing.
on.
I'm sure he'll be doing these bits at Caroline's this weekend.
He's so quick on
You're not
the
gonna
stage.
believe. You're not gonna believe what I wrote. I wrote hi.
The number for Caroline's 212-757-4100. Tickets go really fast when Brian comes to New York City. There's
guys
a
are
show
very
tonight,
kind.
and there's 2 Friday, 2 Saturday, and 1 on Sunday.
You know, I actually almost took a Pop-Tart out and stuck it in my fat mouth. I didn't know you were going to sign that. It was so delicious.
There's some
and
starving
frosty.
people down there in New Orleans. They're starving, and Jimmy is cutting back on how much money they're going to get because you're destroying the thing that's going to go
No,
up
it's
for
more,
bid.
it's more that way, because that way they feel it's a real pop. Yes, sir?
No, it's not.
Who's that guy?
I don't know.
Ooh.
What?
Scary.
It's uncomfortable.
This is weird. This is
Uncomfortable.
very weird. Very awkward.
Columbine.
Who is it?
This is strange.
Did Jimmy tell him?
We have there's people showing up at the station every day now. So
Just decided to walk in.
who are you, sir?
It's a little weird.
He's walking
Slowly
out.
backs out of the room.
I don't know about this.
What are you?
You're Eric's roommate?
Oh, I've met you before.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Is that why you're also wearing the same type of homoerotic shorts that he has?
We
Cut
went
above the knee.
We went to the Mitch Hedberg show.
See how that worked out.
Actually, it was his second to last show ever.
Oh, jeez.
Yep. I met him for the first time, and we were getting him ready to come on the show and everything. He was a big fan of the show, so he said.
Yeah.
And
here's what Eric says to him all the time.
I know a thing or two about a thing or two.
Why did you try to shoot Steve Martin in The Jerk?
I was just thinking he was in the film Toy Soldiers, but that's me.
Yeah.
I used to have a really big fro. My
No.
friends used to say I looked like John Wayne Gacy.
No.
Ooh, that's a good one. Clown
Those
suit.
aren't friends. Those aren't friends.
Yeah,
we
with,
say things like
with
that.
friends like that, who needs enemies, man?
Yeah, you are right.
Jimmy,
You are
that's a good
right.
one. That's a good one.
Wiser words never been spoken.
That's right. I say that a lot. With friends like you, who needs enemies? The whole place laughs.
All right, Timmy in Wisconsin. What's up, Timmy? Timmy!
Hey, guys.
Sounds like he's out in the water somewhere.
I I learned that wherever Eugene Levy is at, it's very warm.
Oh, all right. Yeah, we're going to start the What Did You Learn game, I guess. Hey, who's this?
Hello, it's me. It's Di.
Oh,
Hi.
How's everything?
What hopefully intensive care unit are you in?
I am not in an intensive care unit. First of all, Marion says hi. She's working right now. And I have to go to work in a little bit later on.
Oh, you got a job, huh?
Of course I do.
What do you do?
And you had a call to tell the whole country why?
No. No, I called to say hello, and we'll see you there October 4th.
What kind of job are you doing?
What kind of a job am I doing? It has to deal with customers.
She repeats everything.
Every job has to do with customers.
She repeats everything you ask her,
Hold on.
and then she doesn't give an answer.
Everyone, even morticians deal with customers, stupid.
What's your name? What's my
It
name?
has nothing to do with that.
What kind of a job is it?
What kind of a job?
Oh.
It's serving donuts and serving coffee.
Is it...
I'm going to guess physician.
I'm going to go
Doughboys in France.
Yeah, I'm going to go USL. USL.
I'm going to guess Dunkin' Donuts.
Huh?
Dunkin' Donuts?
I'm not going to say.
Oh, boy.
Space Shuttle Commander.
Yeah, because there's so many fucking donut shops out there. That's why I said that.
Are they gonna
you should say I'm not going to say.
I work in Westfield.
Are they going to use your fat body to clog the levee?
No.
Wow. Right there.
Wow.
Levee clogging slub.
Interview took a turn there.
Really, a lot of Levy jokes today.
Hey, it's the mold for the donuts.
Hey, Di. You might have to hold hands and play American Pie soon.
We can't all be Samuel Jackson.
Hey, Di, did they have to train you there?
Hell.
This is our hell. We go from Samuel L. Jackson to Lady Di.
By the way, how you doing, Brian Reagan?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
All right, Anthony had a question.
It's over. It's done.
Go ahead, Ant.
I lost it.
Don't be shy.
It's over.
Timing thing.
I'm sorry.
It happens.
I'm sorry.
Oh, it's just the nature of the beast.
So how long you been working at the Dunkin'
Don't call
Donuts
her
in
that.
Westfield?
I've been working there since March.
Since March?
Mm-hmm.
You making good money?
Well, you know, it's decent.
What are you making now? 'Cause I don't know what minimum wage is now because I make so much more. What do you make?
Well, you know, I'm not going to say that.
Why? It's not a personal question.
$2 an hour.
Do people tip? That's my question.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, and what's the biggest tip you've gotten?
Oh, the biggest
Lose
one?
weight.
Hey, you didn't laugh when people were saying that to us earlier.
Oh, yeah.
Then we were hurt.
I paid it forward.
Someone else is fat. This is great. Finally.
Pass it on. Pass on the insult.
Well, you know, it's a job, okay?
Yeah. Oh, geez.
Was she answering the entire time we were talking?
Yeah,
Hey,
of course
don't
she was.
Don't you hate though?
Did you finally go into rehab?
What for? I don't need it.
You're a drunk.
Yeah, the fact that your liver is fucking it looks like a brick with flesh on it.
I don't need to do that.
What if she ends up being a congressperson or something, and then you guys
Excuse me?
are on record with these comments?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's going to happen. A congresswoman whose husband killed himself by jumping in front of a train.
Congresswoman.
I don't see that
What
happening.
platform would she run under? Lose your kids, November 4th.
Hey, listen, O&A.
All right, let's say hi to Doug in Minnesota. Doug.
Hey, I learned that Jews are almost human.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Don't get me started with
Regan. That was the star of the show today. Joe in Delaware.
Hey,
Joe.
Hey, at the CBS.
Joe.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I learned today that the show can finally get good guests and then have it ruined by a fat fucking load calling in at the end.
Ouch.
And Bob Freeman gets the show.
All right, let's say hi to Rob in Illinois. Rob?
No, it's Rob on Long Island, but that's
Wherever.
okay.
All right.
Yeah, doesn't really matter. Yeah, I learned that black girl is Highlander. They can be only one. Punching out.
There you go. There can only be one.
Where's Lady Di?
What is that, Private Pile? Sir, jelly donuts, sir.
Peas hoed. Peas hoed.
Peas hoed.
Let's say to Crash.
Hey, I called that call screener down at that innovative radio station down there.
Lexington, yeah.
What's that?
Go ahead.
Yeah. And I told him, better be ready, the ONA Army is coming. And he goes, what are you, one of the 50 callers? Or one of 50 listeners? And I went into this ego spiel about 15% of 4-point-whatever million, and he hung up on me.
1-800-977-DO-US, these scumbags.
All right.
Brilliant. Hey, Lady Di.
Lady Di's boss.
Because you are a disgusting fat body, Private Pile.
All right, we're wrapping
I'm
up.
back again.
What, Lady Di, real fast?
Did you hear from Tom from New Orleans?
Shut up, would you? Stop trying to be concerned.
Brian Regan playing Carolines this weekend. 212-757-4100. Want to thank Ron and Fez for stopping by.
Absolutely. Three Kings tomorrow night, 5:30. Free beer.
Free beer.
Nice, I'm there.
And you're not going to get that at a Brian Regan show.
No. And you're doing the show with us tomorrow again?
We're going to do the show with you guys tomorrow, and then everybody's coming out tomorrow night at BB King's, 5:30, and then we're all going to go see Regan.
The Opie and Anthony Show.
Program complete.